Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hardly Heroes. How are my two favorite thieves today?
Fantastic.
Thieves is kind of a term that, not a true burglar would call themselves.
That's true. What would you call your... Nice. And what are you, Luther?
What did he say? Rogue?
I'm a lockpick.
Thief.
Lockpick. A lockpick.
Yeah, he's a thief.
You're
like a wise guy.
con man.
Yeah, con man. That's a perfect word, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really a con man. I'm not really conned anyone. I mostly just beat people up and steal their shit.
Well, you're playing Luther, the cop, right? So you're...
Yeah.
I keep seeing little snippets of that show here and there, and I'm always like, yeah, that actually kind of measures up. He's just sort of like a really intense dude.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think I tried to make... I kind of want Luther to be more like Tony Soprano than I want him to be like Luther the character. He looks like Luther, but I kind of have this vision of being like this affable, friendly person, but that everyone's scared of because if you like cross him,
I was about to say,
we'll fuck you up.
Some of the clips I've seen, like Luther's dousing himself in gasoline to like attract attention while someone else does something, and that doesn't quite feel like you, right? It doesn't quite feel like you're putting yourself in danger while someone else handles these things. You feel a little more Tony Soprano. This guy goes in danger, but then you talk about you say something to my daughter, and I'm going to come and beat you in public. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I see that. I get the vibes. It's working.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So where last we left, our party was going to leave Thornwood and head to Shybrook.
Yeah. I would like to ask, the next morning after I lamped Pigeon, does he have a black eye?
Ooh.
I think he should.
How much did you roll damage?
I didn't roll damage. I'm happy
roll
to.
Damage here, yeah.
Roll me a D2.
Did I roll? What roll did I get? I got
19.
18. Would that have been a crit?
Was it a natural 18?
No,
it's 14, yeah.
So Punch Neil is what, D3?
2.
D2, but plus my strength bonus is another 1, I think. Just checking that. Open my character sheet. Yeah, just 1. So D2 plus 1. Okay, so it's not like a lot of damage, but...
It's 2 points of damage. And you did crack him square in the head. I think it's not like the whole thing, but like there's bruising under the eye and there's bruising over here. It's one of those like diffuse, slightly awkward bruises that'll heal in a couple days.
Yeah, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but Luther is kind of pissed still at Pigeon. Because Luther goes out of his way to help Pigeon a lot. He feels like, he puts him ahead of himself a lot. And I just feel like, there was just no need for that. So
there was no need, yeah.
It's fine. We're not going to make a point of it because, bros before hoes and all that, but still.
Yeah, on our way on the East Road, Pigeon will be making jokes about it of, oh my God, Sierra, he would have loved that, man. I'm sorry, Luther, hey, it won't happen again.
Yeah, it won't happen again. That's the problem. I'm not going to find a girl like that if I walk from this side of the world to Akuba.
You'll be able to get her back when we go back.
I don't know about that. Not if she sees you.
I'll stay away.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, let's get
trust
ahead
people's drinks, man.
Not with you around. That's true. And next time I see you going through my shit, you're gonna have more than a black eye.
None.
So we're just leaving Thornwood, Neil, I suppose, on our horses. It's a one day trip down this road past the swamp, the East Road to Shybrook.
It's a long day, but it's one day.
Yeah. I ask at the gates as we're leaving. I say we're headed to Shybrook. Is the road safe?
Well, getting through the forest is a little bit of a problem. Sometimes there's some ogres. We try and keep chopped up ogre bits on spikes to let them know we're not to be fucked with. The cavalry that sits in the ruins of the castle. Woo, baby. I'd stay away from them.
Cavalry in the ruins of the castle? What do you mean?
We keep the peace around here in Thornwood. And the way that we do that is through our knights. I
didn't realize you guys had a castle.
Well, you can't. It's mostly destroyed, but that's because we've got good leaders who rebuilt the outer wall before they rebuilt the castle. They're actually putting the city before themselves. Can you imagine that shit? I'm telling you, Thornwood,
I don't believe it.
20
It's
years
not-
from
it's
now,
not-
Thornwood's going to be the new rising star. It's going to be the heart of everything. This is where shit's
I can
gonna
believe
be
it.
going.
We've traveled on this road a long way. You know, we come all the way from Stromheim, and this is definitely the best town outside of
the best
Stromheim.
time. Yeah.
Ooh, and their waterway connects to the ocean. It's actually kind of huge.
Yeah, but
Are there boats from Thornwood to Shybrook?
Well, the problem is between Thornwood and Shybrook is the Black Pine Marsh, and that place has never been tamed. Sometimes people would try and go downriver, never up. It's too slow. But ever since, monsters, undead, war, the troubles, let's call it, Black Pine Marsh has gotten out of hand. The hydras that live there used to be kept in check, but they've had a generation to breed, and now they're,
what's a Hydra again?
fucking 30-foot tall, 9-headed
What the
monster. Yeah,
They really have them?
Yeah, we really have them. I would stay away from the Black Pine Marsh. The rest of the road is not too terrible. Sometimes some bullywugs come out of the marsh and hit up people on the road. So if you see
a bullywug?
something, it's like a frog man.
It's like a frog, man.
It's like I'm not scared of a frog.
Well, they're about 6 feet tall and they wield weapons. And
Like
they
a
blend
frog
in.
man.
Like a frog
I thought
man.
it was. I
Yeah,
thought he
yeah.
was saying like it's like a frog, man.
No, a man frog.
Oh, a man frog.
Yeah.
Oh
That
shit.
doesn't sound that scary, but they are surprisingly agile. They have a weird movement to them.
That sounds pretty
and they
scary to
blend
me.
in. Yeah.
I'm used
Are
to the
there-
city,
Do you know of any people who do like guarding from Thornwood to Shybrook?
There are some
bitch.
groups that'll put together caravans to head out, but it's
We
once a
don't need that.
week at most, more likely once a month.
Yeah,
Hey,
I don't
on the-
need that.
On the ogre thing, like
Yeah.
how fast can an ogre run? Outrun a horse?
Nah. They don't need to outrun the horse because they've got, tree branch sized javelins that they throw. It'll go right through your horse, bring it to the ground. Go right through you.
No, not me.
Well,
I'm built like a tree, mate. Look at me.
have you ever seen an ogre? They're like 9 feet tall. They've got, their arms are scrawny, and yet they're still as big as your torso. These things, like they could take a human in 2 hands and just snap it instantly without
No.
even trying. Yeah.
Maybe him, I say, pointing at Pigeon.
All right, come on, Luther. Let's leave this guy. Let's just get going, man.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for the chat.
Have a good, safe journey. Stay away from
Yeah.
things that move. And if you meet anyone on the road selling you anything, run as fast as you can.
I give him a gold.
Fuck's that
Thanks,
mean?
buddy.
Well, this sounds like a fresh level of hell, I say, as we march out of the town.
I want to book it through the Thornwood, Neil. Like, I want to push my horse.
Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
have to push. Your horses can do about 48 miles a day. The road is 50 miles. So
Yeah.
you've got to get up early, maybe push your horse through Thornwood, then rest it for a little while, and then push into the night in
Yep.
order to do this stuff. What you see here as you leave, the forest is nice. You get through the forest pretty fast. You do see spikes with ogre bits on them. But as you hit the east road, you can see the ashlands to your left, to the northeast. And the ashlands, well, right now, they're just a charred remain. They burned probably sometime last year. And so now you get little bits of green grass kind of shooting up and about, but there's all this small bushes and shrubs for as far as the eye can see that are completely burnt and barren. And there's just a thin layer of dust and ash that covers fucking everything out there. It's just flat, burned, charred terrain for as far as the eye can see.
Quick question. I left Stromheim with 33 HP. Would I have recovered any on this journey or not?
No, you would have.
Did
No, you
do
didn't have
2
a-
nights in Thornwood, right?
You are not in a carriage.
No. But I did sleep in bed in Thornwood, although we went out drinking, so.
You went out drinking, and let me ask you, how was
get
the
much sleep.
sex that night?
No, yeah, sure, but
Was it
last night,
French
though,
or was it,
I don't know what that means. But
athletic?
Was it freaky?
excluding that night, but last night we didn't really go out drinking yesterday, did we?
That's true.
That's true.
So I think I should have got 1 HP for yesterday.
That's good. I'll give you one.
I'm taking
very
my one,
reasonable.
too.
You should both
Okay,
take it.
cool.
Actually,
Okay.
Mooten, you can't. You were in a fight. You got damaged last night. Sorry,
Well,
buddy.
Nick can't take it either. He was in a fight.
He threw one punch. You.
I will do 1 punch. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
all it
I'm
takes.
good with mine.
I'm
too.
sorry. We got to play with the rules.
I say to Eraser as we're getting out, I was speaking to this guy a few years ago in Rusty's Hook, and he was saying he was from Shybrook, and he said that that's where all these demons came from. Remember back in the day? He said it started there.
I heard that. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Heard that.
But like, there wouldn't be people here if they were still here, would there?
No. They all died. It was
Yeah?
a wave. It was just a tidal wave of monsters.
Sure. Yeah.
How old were you when they showed up?
How long ago was it, Neil?
It is presently the year 1520. I think they showed up in 1510, so about 10 years ago.
Oh,
I was 10 years old.
I was 29, so I'd
yeah.
remember it.
Yeah. You all would then remember the horrors, the bells going off, the period of starvation, the people fleeing, the corpses that were thrown over the walls, the like undead that were walking through the city because people would die and then they would just be raised remotely as monsters. You would know when the gates cracked open and flames and steel and obsidian came through. You would have lived through the horror days.
Did Stromheim almost fall?
Yes. I think
Yeah,
that
okay,
is
so it was
how
close.
you probably would have viewed it. As someone on the inside, walls got destroyed. Like there's that section of the city that is ruins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that gray stuff is areas that had been like sieged down by weapons of war or set on fire, which means like they clearly broken through the walls in all sorts of places.
So it's right by our house, actually, in the top right.
Yeah, and the abandoned sections are places that like people had fled because no one wanted to be near the walls, and just the population is so low that no one bothered to resettle them. Right? The population of Stromheim went from whatever it was to like 20% its former population. Maybe not 20.
I guess
25.
thinking back, it was probably during those times that Luther really turned to proper crime.
Mm-hmm.
In the first place to survive, and then after that, just sort of remained in it.
You didn't have much of a choice, really. Like,
No,
if you didn't have a proper skill or employed in a military fashion, you were begging, borrowing, and stealing everything you could.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot. Like that guy's kind of shit me up a little bit on the gate here, so I think we're all feeling a little bit uneasy as we head out of town.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me roll on our master encounter table. Once for the Ashlands, once for the Black Pine Marsh, and once for the Shybrook Forest.
What about the Thornwood?
No, the roads were cleared.
Okay.
I didn't roll for it. I just declared that you got through fine.
Nice.
Ooh. No, we're not going to worry about that. There are no large bats attacking you in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And the Black Pine Marsh.
Like Malachi summoned some giant bats around here once upon a time.
Nope.
Maybe not the same ones.
You are not threatened by snakes. And... Ooh.
Something good.
Just
Dangerous
something
down here,
mild.
isn't it?
Just something mild here. Where's my... It's a
We killed
road encounter. Hold on, I'm going to bring up my 100 non-combat road encounters, which is actually now more than 100, but I just never renamed my document.
Nice.
What's the best encounter you have on here?
Ooh, I don't even know.
Unicorn. No, that
Well, best, I mean, like, beneficial for the party.
Oh.
You remember how we got the fish?
Yeah. The magic fish. The wishing fish.
All right, as you're
was
coming down the road, getting close to Shybrook. The Black Pine Marsh is in your past. The day is mostly over. You're trying to make your way to Shybrook pretty quickly. Someone keeps saying...
Sorry. As we go past the Black Pine Marsh, do we hear, like, disturbing noises from inside?
No, it's the middle of the day. You mostly just hear your horses tromping and, you know, the sound of yourself moving in the saddle. You could probably look over, see the trees. It looks maybe a little spooky, but honestly, hydras and frogmen, guard's probably putting you on. Like, you're from out of town, right?
Yeah,
he's giving you the old
drop
dazzle
situation.
Yeah.
Like in Australia, yeah.
I love how the Australians lean into drop bears.
Yeah, it's funny that.
Yeah. You will see on the road as you're approaching Shybrook, as you can see, like the campfires and the hearths of Shybrook's like smoke rising in the far distance, or at least Pigeon sees it and is like, I see the smoke from the town. And you and Eraser are like, I don't really. It's probably just a cloud, dude. But you're getting close. You can see a forest approaching you in the front. And right in front of the woods, right on the road, using the road as their staging ground, is an old woman and a middle-aged man. And I say old woman, like she's got gray streaks in her hair, but she's still pretty agile. And a middle-aged guy who's maybe just a few years older than you, Luther.
Okay.
And they've got swords out. And they look like they are in some sort of not fencing or training. It actually looks like they're trying to kill each other, but they're both sort of wary in fencing. Yeah, you're half
what's
mile
going
off
on
from
over
this.
there? Half mile, they won't hear me, right?
No.
I think I say, take a look at these. This is a spectacle. I pull my horse up to watch.
Let's get up there.
You guys trot forward. A few minutes later,
I say, I've got 2 gold on the old woman. I say that loud enough for them to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You guys okay?
They are quietly squaring off. You know, the middle-aged man will take a couple steps forward and thrust, and she'll, you know, easily move the sword aside and take a slash at his knees, but he's also pretty fast, and neither of them are quite landing blows, and there's like a long, slow... They're using rapiers, not long swords or arming swords.
This keeps me honestly trapped.
Nah. World's weirdest trap, if this is a trap.
How far are they, Koibu?
You've ridden up to them, so you're, I don't know, 30 feet away?
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Okay.
Go for his throat.
I'll let him... I'm gonna ride, like, to 20 yards away.
You're closer than 20 yards presently. Oh, you want to go further away.
I'm gonna go further away, yeah. And I'm gonna watch him for one more round.
Yeah, Eraser backs off with you. What's going
I
on?
look to my left and right as they leave.
I wait around.
Well, Eraser asks you, what's going on?
I'm gonna lasso one of them if they keep on fighting.
What?
Shrug. It's funny.
I mean, we could just take them. If they've got swords, they've probably got money. We got horses.
Yeah, but if I lasso him, he's not gonna expect it. They're in combat.
It's true.
And then we can take them. Next round, I'll lasso. Yeah.
Okay. Luther, you find yourself sort of alone. The others back off.
Yeah. I mean,
that's cool.
I don't know why they would attack them. They could be anyone. They could be important in the town.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to cause trouble, but I'm not there for the conversation, so I'm watching the fight.
All right. Well, the man strikes out with a 5. The woman strikes out with a 7. Bad rolls today.
Is there any wounds on them?
You can see that their clothing has rips and tears in it. Give me a perception check to see if you can find a wound. Because like, if they've got 100 HP and they've taken 4 points of damage, it might not show.
My one session of rolling half decent is done, apparently.
Yeah.
It's back to the ones.
You know, we're getting on towards evening. You know, the lighting, the shadows are getting long. Their positioning and their loose clothing is just, it's high. You can see it's torn, but you can't quite see any blood splots anywhere. Pigeon, you roll in with a 17. They will definitely both go before you. The woman will step forward and get like a nice little stab on the guy's thigh. And the guy will also counter with his rapier and get her in the shoulder with a little.
Okay.
A little
So they draw
spot.
blood.
Probably, but you rolled a 1 on your perception, so you can't see anything. I'm so sorry. Pigeon, who are you lassoing?
Yeah, I'm gonna get off the horse and I'm gonna lasso whoever's closer. So whichever one you want to call is
Sure,
closer.
D2, because they're sort of they're going up and down and changing sides. It could be anyone. 1 is the woman, 2 is the man. It's a 1.
Okay.
The old woman.
Here you go. 18.
Excellent shot. You toss it right over her, and is it a strength check to then just yoink her off her feet?
It says, so what I have here is pin him equal AC 10. And I have around the legs, pull or trip ability, make him fall. That's what I have on my sheet.
I think once upon a time that made perfect sense to both of
Yes.
us.
Why are you lassoing them, bro?
I'm diffusing the fight.
Well, let them fight. Well, it's too
Why do
late.
you let him fight?
Because why not? What's it got to do with you?
Well, I'm diffusing it. I'm a good guy. I'm the good guy here.
Oh, okay.
So lassos are only effective when used in conjunction with a called shot attack. They cannot be used for normal attacks, so they should come at a -4, which an 18 would still succeed.
Okay.
If the attacker succeeds with his called shot against the legs, he gets it low enough on his opponent's body that he can trip them. If
But wait,
the
why are you rolling a
attacker-
+8 though?
I have. It's correct.
Is
2
it?
for
Yeah.
rope use, something
Yeah.
for dex, something for level.
2 for rope use. Okay.
Yeah.
3 for level, 3 for dex.
2 for level. Sorry, 4 from level, plus 2 from dex, and then 2 from rope use. Yeah.
So you can either called shot their legs to trip them,
Okay.
or you can called shot their arms to trap their weapon, shield, or both. Last but not least, you can unhorse a rider with a called shot, and then dex. Cool. So did you want to go after the arms or the legs?
Probably the legs.
Okay. So
You'll break that hip.
14. You get the lasso low enough to settle on the opponent's body that he can trip his enemy. You gain a +4 bonus to this opposed strength check because you've got a lasso and it's on their legs. And ooh, a 17 is not good enough. But let's see the old woman. She rolls a 28 actually.
Damn.
Good job, woman. So you get the lasso. It drops down towards her legs. You give it a good pull, but her stance is wide enough that you can't quite leverage it the way that you want.
But she is lassoed.
She is lassoed.
Okay.
Eraser gives a hoot and a holler at this. And Nick, you're just watching, enjoying.
Yeah, I'll skip this round. I mean, what happens?
We're gonna roll initiative between the old man, the woman, and Pigeon.
What would I pull, or what would I roll to pull again?
Just a 3. Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong roll, but it is in the...
That's it. Yeah, it's fine. It's close enough. All right. You've got this
Wait.
lasso round her legs. What are you going to say?
Wait, I'm going to roll initiative as well.
What are you going to roll in for?
A sword attack.
Against whom?
Against the fucking rope.
Oh!
Counter trolled.
The woman. She's going to pull an acrobatics move here. It's going to cost her a dex check to do it. But she
Oh my
is
gosh.
going to throw her feet together and try to do a back roll where she drops. And so hopefully the rope will just slide off of her and she can get the hell out of here. It will provoke an attack of opportunity from the man she's facing.
I also feel like if she fails, she should maybe get more entangled or something. Maybe
Probably.
She should probably fall over if she fails.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rolling her dex and it's a natural 20. It doesn't matter what her dex is.
Yes.
Oh my god, this woman's
Fortunately,
amazing.
She slides out of the rope does a back roll. The man does not take the attack of opportunity.
Yeah, they're doing something here.
Instead, he bolts down the road towards Pigeon on initiative 6.
I knew it was coming.
Throws his rapier into your body.
Throws?
It is a not thrusts. I was being metaphorical.
Keep him. I'm 20 yards away. Can he still attack?
Absolutely. In a round, combat round, 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
2, 3, 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
Holy fuck.
Unless he gets -1. Oh no, because I'm standing. I'm off the horse.
Yeah, you're off the horse, and you would get a plus to hit him. He wouldn't get a penalty to hit you.
Yeah.
Rapier.
Is it fair if I change my thing? Because now I'm getting attacked. I would go for daggers.
I would also like to change my sword attack target.
You can change the target. That seems fair.
Yeah.
You were gonna pull the woman. She's escaped your rope. Yeah, you. As long as you go last, you can do daggers.
Yeah,
that's fine. All right, the damage on the rapier. Whoa! He will skewer you for 9 points of damage.
What the fuck?
9, okay. Yeah,
Is
we're
this
gonna
guy
fuck this
built-
guy up.
built like a
1,
brick shit
plus
house?
2. Yeah.
Oh, he's
done
specialized.
good.
He's a fighter.
He's a
Uh-oh.
fighter. Yeah, the rapier hits you in the body. I think we should bring out some little tokens.
Okay. I'm sorry for saying I was going to attack your rope, Pigeon.
Well, it's all right. You can attack.
You had the right. You had the right.
Yeah, I
idea.
knew that they were doing something here.
Fucking hell, I can't say that. World's weirdest trap.
Good traps are weird traps. You know, you don't see them coming.
I saw
I
it
guess.
coming.
Ooh,
Yeah.
House of Racer guy, yellow health bar. That's pretty cool.
Because he's an ally. I wanted to separate him from you guys, but he's so close. He's no longer questionable, right? He is 100%.
He's a homie.
He's a homie.
All
for
right,
sure.
let's give him a blue HP bar.
Huge.
There we go. All right. Luther, you're up next.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
Can I turn my horse around and charge the man and attack him in the back?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I mean, high ground, back attack.
Yeah. I will remind
From
you that this is
horseback.
not a combat horse. You know, it's probably going to get spooked by combat, especially if it gets injured or if there's a lot of blood in the air. That's all. But for now, it's you can totally do this.
For now, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
It will
mechanically
come time.
charged me, correct?
He should have. I did not
Okay.
include that in
Just got-
any of the rolls, though.
-1 AC.
There's no damage bonus on a charge attack.
I don't think so. I think you
It's
just
just
get
2 to
2.
hit.
+2 to hit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
minus
and-
1 AC.
-1 AC. All right.
Okay,
Nick,
so I'm getting a +2 for back attack and +1 for high ground, yeah?
so 12.
And he's -1 AC.
And he's
Yep.
-1 AC, so I'm looking at a +4 here.
Absolutely. You skewer him in the back with your short sword.
16.
Okay.
It's got to be a hit. No dex from behind.
Oh, wait. 9 was your initiative roll, not your attack roll. Got it.
Yeah.
16 is a hit, 100%.
6 damage.
Badly
Where's his token?
wounding. Half HP. I don't have one for him. He's
Okay,
at
that's
half HP. I'll tell you.
Can I have done this to can I be running past him and turning around rather than stopping the horse to attack? Or do I have to be a
Yes.
horseback rider to do that? I can't. Okay, so I go past them. I end my
Slash
turn, I
through
turn
him.
back around. Yeah.
Eraser, surprised, did not roll into initiative here. And next
Here
round,
comes
he will.
my 2 daggers. I pull my metal dagger and my magic dagger from my side. Here's the attack. A natural 1. And then here's the metal dagger. 16.
16 will hit.
It's got -1 AC, remember? Yeah.
That's true, yeah. So for 4.
Nice.
Nice. He is on death's door, practically.
You little bastard! I knew you had a trap! And now you're gonna die! Very nice 20, Nick.
Yeah. 20 on initiative.
Oh, God. Light crossbows, D10 plus 10. Okay. They go at 6 and 10. No, sorry, 6 and 8. So they go first. The old woman is the very first one. She's back up. She's maybe not as old as she looked. She is sprinting to back up the guy. And she'll just give Pigeon another stabby stab with that's a cocked die. With a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not good enough. Wild miss. Pigeon, you've got your dagger. You have to stab now, right? They're too close to throw.
Oh yeah, I'm stabbing. When it said magic throwing dagger, I'm stabbing.
I understand.
Here's my stab. Another
critical miss.
And here's my metal dagger. 16.
Another 16.
Into the man.
He's dead.
And he goes to the ground. The woman gives out a cry of hatred and anger. Luther, it's your turn.
Am I firing into melee here?
Did you roll a racer in?
I did. He goes after Luther. Oh, Luther is here twice for some reason. Got it. Yeah. Eraser does go next then. And he comes on in, hops off his horse, and just tries to put a short sword through the old woman. A 12 will hit her for 2 points of damage. Okay. It barely affects her. She's got good HP. Luther, this is firing into combat. There's 3 bodies here.
The guy is clearly unconscious and not dead. I'm assuming he took 1 damage and then went down, so he's unconscious, yeah?
Yeah.
I point my crossbow at him and slowly walk my horse towards him. And I say, throw down your arms or he's dead.
Ooh.
I will shoot if she doesn't react.
Yeah. Her morale is unimpeachable. Maybe she's just so desperate. Maybe she thinks he's dead one way or the other. She absolutely does not back down. You're going to have to put a crossbow bolt in this guy's body.
I'm assuming I'm rolling at +4, given that he's unconscious.
Yeah, that seems fine.
That's got to be right.
Yeah, well, usually someone prone, you have penalties to hit with the bow, but you're standing above him with the crossbow, and he's literally unconscious, so... Yeah. It's a critical shot. It goes right through his neck. Roll me double damage.
D6 +2. Because it's D6 +1, so the +1 gets doubled, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
For 8.
Yeah, it goes through his neck, pins it to the ground. She gives out a cry and takes... She does not get a second attack this round. Pigeon gets a stab? No. Mm-mm. We just roll initiative.
These guys are fucking stupid.
She goes at 10.
Initiative, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Eraser goes at 4. It's going to be a short battle. It's 1-on-3. Eraser will minorly graze her. She goes at 10, so the rest of you go first.
Here you go. I go
No, first. You go first, yeah.
Magic throwing dagger, not throwing, attacking. An 11?
Not good enough.
Really?
Not good enough.
Here's the Steel Team 6 dagger.
Not good enough, Luther.
Can I get an attack from my horse, or would I have to dismount, given that she's surrounded?
Are you using a sword or a dagger?
Yeah, using a sword now, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the surround, you got to get off. Yeah, it's a mess in here. Your horse is not ready for it.
I jump off my horse and go to attack her. Back attack?
Back attack. She's easily surrounded. 23 is an easy hit. 5 points of damage. She's nearing half HP.
Oh, she's
the old
badass.
bag. She takes her sword. She whirls. She thrusts it. Actually, no. Pigeon's the most wounded. She absolutely goes for Pigeon. It's a wild miss. And she does get a second attack at the end of this round. Specialized fighter. 16 plus a bunch is a hit. For 3, 4, 5, 6 damage.
Damn, you taking some wounds here.
Yeah, they fucked me up. I go at 6.
She's going at 14.
6.
Eraser calls out, Woman, stop it! You're gonna die! Luther and Pigeon, you're both first.
Whoa, it's a crit.
Critical hit. Double the damage.
Or 5.
She fails a saving throw. Give me... Oh, it's a critical hit. The saving throws might not matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's down
Is
low.
it 13 hit?
13 hits.
Well,
5.
She's gone.
fucked.
You guys stand around her, each of you putting your daggers and swords into her body as she crumbles on the dusty road with the ashlands to your left, the forest in front of you, and Shybrook in the distance.
I quickly
bastard.
make sure to get the horses, Neil. Make sure they're not running. They're running off. Like, make sure they're fine. Yeah.
I search them.
Yeah. Bandits.
On them, you find nothing but their rapiers and their clothes.
Okay. That
But
means they
that
stored all their
means-
shit somewhere.
They stored their shit. Is it in a nearby camp? Is it in Shybrook? I don't know. Do you
Don't
want to
know.
go search for it?
Yeah.
No, don't.
Well, when you
No.
take a little look, see if you can see any campfires.
I'll give you one perception check, Neil.
Yeah.
To like, do I see a campfire? I'll go over to where they were actually.
Yeah,
And
go
from
to where they
there,
were.
I'm gonna do a
Yeah.
search. I'm gonna look in the tree. I'm gonna look in the ground, see if anything's disturbed there. 33.
Oh, let's see. No.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have a
I
track
just assume it's in
proficiency, right?
Shybrook. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
No, I don't
nothing.
try to see. Yeah, I shout out to Pigeon. You see anything?
No, they probably left it in their home in Shybrook. Just get their rapiers. That's worth some money.
Yeah. All right. I get their rapiers and put them on my horse. Fucking idiots. What were they doing?
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
a doctor.
Yeah, you're kind of fucked up. They got you.
Yeah. I'll get on my horse and we'll go to Shybrook.
How much does
Party-
a rapier weigh, Neil? 3?
3 pounds.
6 pounds of rapier.
Yeah.
You ride into Shybrook. It is a small seaside town.
This map
It
hasn't
is
changed.
much burned down. Once upon a time, thriving. Now, not so great. This large hill over here is where the keep is. These are like elevation lines and the road that would lead up to the keep. And then the town down here. These district names will still be in effect, although, the town is maybe 20% livable buildings and 80% ruins.
Where do we come in?
You come in on the
Downtown?
north side of the road.
On the north side.
So we're like
On
waterside?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You come in
Smith
through the
side.
water side road.
Okay. What's the situation? No walls, guards, or
Let me get my...
Nick, what's the best pub here? Where do we drink?
the half pint?
Okay, we're going to the half pint.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can stay in the Storybrooke.
There's no walls. There's a nice little cobblestone road that's been recently fixed up. There's a bunch of ruined and burned out husks of buildings lying around, rubble all over the place. But you can see, like, the stone buildings that are ruined keep getting, like, repurposed for, like, good stone. So things are not just in ruins, but, like, actively being cannibalized. And the process of cannibalizing things sort of cleans things up at the same time.
I assume the keep is in ruins.
The keep is in much better shape than you
okay.
might
Losers.
expect. The walls have been completely refurbished and rebuilt. There's a brand new tower flying a brand new flag. It looks snappy and clean. Someone put
So-
money and time into rebuilding that
So they've
keep.
done the opposite
Unlike
of
Thor,
Thornwood.
yeah, exactly. These fucking
Yeah.
losers.
Yeah. Town
Wait,
has
so is
no
that
wall.
is that Aldrich's tower that they've rebuilt? Just out of interest.
Yes. I don't know if they've
Nice.
rebuilt it in the same way. Like, it's probably not the
Probably
same
not.
layout, but, we could call it Aldrich's Tower. It's
We'll
the
call it
Shipathy
Aldrich's
Come
system.
on. We got to get to the half pint. I heard some guys
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah. Apparently there's a gnome there.
Oh.
Brews great beer.
Oh, good. I'll stay at the Storybrooke.
Yeah. All right, we head in past the docks. Neil, on our horses, do we get, are we getting glances? What's the vibe?
Yeah, the vibe of this town right now is fairly industrious. Like, people are hustling. You're coming in late in the evening. It's still springtime, and like people are moving to and fro. The quality of clothing here is pretty good. Like you would almost expect there to be like what do you call it? Like proper cloth makers in town, not like imported. Like this looks like someone here can weave some things together. Someone here can make patterns. Yeah.
If there's someone hustling, right, and they're like trying to sell clothes and stuff on the street, just like walking around, as I assume, I'll call them over. Hey!
Not this late in the day. I'm so sorry. It's
Okay, I'll just
time.
call some person who's begging over.
You don't see any beggars.
Who's on the street?
There are. It looks like parents with kids. It looks like someone coming home from work. Looks like someone carrying a bundle.
To the guy
of
coming home
sticks.
from work.
Yeah.
Hey,
He gives
I
you
need
a
a
look.
doctor. Can you get me one to the Storybrooke?
Fuck off. And he
I'll
keeps
pay you
going his
10
way.
gold.
He turns around. Of course, sir. How can I help you? You're gonna be staying
Fuck
where?
off, poor ass. And then I keep going.
I chuckle at that. That was good. Wait, I said to Eraser, is there a beach, Neil? Have we been passing beaches on? Is there a beach or not? We were told there was beaches.
There are beaches.
Yes.
Wow.
Fuck yeah. Is there people swimming or not?
No, it's evening.
Pretty late, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I don't know. Depends on the weather.
We go to the Storybrooke and
I'd say to Eraser, this is pretty nice here, you know? Well, there's no one begging on the streets. There's no, like, thieves around. It looks clean. People are dressed nice. There's, like, kids and stuff.
Yeah, you come in towards the main market. There's like an inn on one area. There's a bunch of taverns. There's like a big archway over the road that leads into the marketplace with 4 bodies hanging by their necks.
Oh, shit.
You know, it's a happening place.
As we get in view of the bodies, I'll, like, say to someone, like, what did they do?
She points to the body on the far left. Drunk and disorderly. She points to the second body. Tried to climb into the castle walls. She points to the third person. Stole something off a boat, and she points to the 4th person. Then lowers her voice. He had some bad things to say about Lord Divin Armstrong, and
Oh, damn.
he woke up dead one morning.
So that's
And
why
then-
this place is so nice.
Yeah. You said that first guy, that was for being drunk? I say, pointing at that other guy, the first fella.
Well, he was really, you know, it was out of hand.
Yeah, well,
He
good
was
job we never
crashing
get
through
like that, eh,
people's
lads?
fences and knocking them over, you know, shitting in people's flower pots.
Okay.
Just kind of like rolling around in the streets, like, you know, so out of his mind that he didn't really know what was going on anymore. He was sort of maybe a danger to the kids.
He got killed? That's crazy.
Now it's a permanent infliction. All right,
Yeah.
well, thanks. If you're in the pub later, I'll buy you a beer. Thanks.
She heads her own way. You guys come on in.
Cool.
Storybrooke Inn is still here. And the half pint is a sad, shallow, former version. How to say? The half pint is still standing. It has been not given the full human treatment. It is only for halflings, dwarves, gnomes, and other diminutive-sized creatures now, instead of being
Well, we're going in.
multiracial.
Lame. What about the den? Is that a bar?
The den is a tavern, yes. Absolutely.
Okay, well, we can maybe go and buy beer in the half pint and take it to the den.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really like, this guy was telling me. I know you mentioned it, but you probably heard it from me. But it was a guy I met. I remember it was like 6 years ago. He was a dwarf actually, and he was saying that Shybrook has the best beer this side of Mystria.
Well, you go to the Storybrooke. You get some rooms. You get your horses taken care of. You
I asked
walk
for a doctor to be
across-
brought over.
They tell you would have to go speak to the people in the keep. The only doctors available are one of the apprentices to Lord Divin Armstrong.
Okay. We could do that.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah,
That's good,
an
actually.
end.
That's a reason to go.
Yeah. you get to the half pint across the way. There's like the big human-sized door and then the smaller halfling gnome dwarf-sized door inside of it, and they both have their own separate knobs. It's a common feature so you can like accommodate different sizes of people. When you go for the large doorknob, it's locked.
I'm wondering, do they have like... See, if I made a pub, but I wanted to serve humans, but it was only big enough for halflings, I would have some outside seating, and I would have like a little... I don't know if you'll know about this in America, but sometimes you'll have pubs that have like a hatch where you can order drinks from the outside.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So you can go up to the hatch and order some beers and then just go and sit outside. So I'm imagining we can still drink in the half pint as long as we sit outside.
There is no outside seating.
Is there a lock on this front door?
There's a hatch, but the hatch is closed.
Is there a lock on the front door?
Don't, I say to Pigeon. We just got here.
I'm just
You'll
curious.
end up like those guys.
Yes, there's a lock on the big door and there's a lock on the small door.
Luther, all I would have to do is just... I take the tool and then I turn it. This lock is... It would take me a second. I'm not kidding.
I know, but there's gonna be like halflings and shit in there, right?
Yeah, but we're allowed to go in. They're not going to know.
You
It's
can
locked
see
for a
through the
reason.
windows, through the shutters. There's halflings and dwarves in there.
Look,
And they're
they're
having a great
partying.
time.
Is it big enough inside?
The
for us to
ceiling
stand up?
is absolutely high enough, but all the tables and chairs are sized for halflings and dwarves.
Yeah, that's... Just let me open it, man.
Let's just knock.
I give
I knock on the door.
You wait an appropriate amount of time. There's no answer. You wait a little longer because they've got short legs. Maybe it takes them a while, and there's no answer. You look in through the shutters once more, and you see no one is paying any attention to you knocking on the door.
Just let me open it, man.
I look at Eraser for some backup here. Like, I think this
He
is a bad
shakes his
idea.
head.
Like, yeah, don't do it. Just
Guys,
leave it. Let's just
If a dwarf said
Let's
it's a
just-
good pint, who gives a shit? Let's go somewhere else.
let's just go to the other pub. Yeah, it's just over the road. It's
remember,
just
it's a beach vacation. We're trying to
there.
beach vacation.
Oh, man, you said it was the best beer in the world.
Yeah, we'll get one. We'll get one. We'll get one tomorrow. Let's just we just got here. You know, we've been on the road. We're tired.
All right.
Come on, let's go to the den. It's just
Come
over
on,
there.
Pigeon. It's fine. It's fine. We're
Fucking
trying to
dwarves.
stay undercover. Yeah, fucking dwarves.
Maybe the half pints sell their beer to the den. You know?
Yeah, let's go ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to the
Okay.
den.
You
We'll
go to the den. The den is much more welcoming to you. It's only a single-story building. It looks like it used to be 2 stories, but the top sort of burned off and they just like trimmed it and refinished the top. But it's cozy. It's got like cushions on the seats, the nice wooden seats. It's got lots of space. The ground has fresh straw strewn all over it. And there's a whole barrel of peanuts that you can just kind of walk up to and grab peanuts out of it and munch on the peanuts while you have your beers.
Communal peanuts. Nice.
Yeah,
What
that's
the
an
hell's
American
wrong with
thing you
those
guys
half
don't
pints
have.
over there?
Yeah. No one let us
Bartender
in.
shakes his head. You know, we had some problems. The shorter folks, the taller folks, and we resolved it by just splitting the inns and splitting the taverns. They get theirs, we get ours, and
Shit.
things are just a little bit more peaceful that way.
Sounds like there's a story behind that.
There's a couple stories behind that. Yep.
Well, we're going to be in town for a few days, so I hope to hear them before we leave.
Well, some of them are funny. Some of them are a little less funny. Maybe you'll get some good ones.
1 elven wine, please.
One mother's
laugh.
virginity coming up, he says. What do you want? He says to Luther.
What's good? Beer?
Yeah. It's actually all we
yeah.
have.
What?
Well, there you go. That's what I want.
Perfect. It's the right order.
I'd say to the guy, and I like elbow Pigeon, say he drinks beer.
Of course
He's had
he
one
does.
glass of elven wine.
I
one
didn't
time.
even think he was seriously asking. I thought it was
He
just
was,
a
no,
joke.
he was.
I
He-
am
every,
asking.
Every fucking tavern from here to Stromheim, this little guy's like, oh, can I get some elven wine?
You know, I actually did see a barrel of elven wine last week.
Where?
I was on a cart, fresh off a boat, headed to the keep.
Oh,
shit.
oh, good. Okay. I'm gonna go be friends with the king.
Oh, buddy. All right, you're new here.
We gotta heist that.
Did you see the bodies?
We
Hanging
did,
up?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So in
Apparently-
the keep, you know,
Yeah. I was going to say, apparently one guy got up there just being drunk.
Yeah, well, he was caught. It was. If you had seen, like,
He
there was
deserved it.
projectile vomiting over, like, you know how kids walk through the streets and the parents make them hold hands so no one gets lost in a crowd? Yeah, look, it was 10 a.m. The kids are on their way to the river for, like, some swimming lessons. The guy is so violently drunk, he pukes over the children and then stumbles into their line, landing on one of the younger girls. And, when you're just watching what's happening, it kind of looks like he's doing something inappropriate. And by the time people pull him off, like, he's literally shit through his pants onto the kids. Like,
Okay,
I don't know
maybe,
if he
yeah.
deserved to be killed, but, like, bro needed to
I
chill
feel
the fuck
better.
out.
I've drank a lot in my days, and I've never done some shit like that, so...
Yeah,
I down my beer, and I'll say, I'll have another one, please.
of course. Yeah, one of the apprentices gives swimming lessons to some of the kids.
Oh, I'm gonna
That's
go get a
nice.
swimming lesson, Luther.
One of the kids. It's not for you.
You can't swim.
Oh, well, I mean, I bet my gold's good here. I bet I could pay them enough to swim.
I don't think you could. Lord
You know,
Divin
I'm a rich-
Armstrong. Hold on. I'm trying to educate you so you don't get yourself killed, okay? Lord Divin Armstrong, he's a Dorkissian. He trained King Imric McGarry, you know, the gold dragon owner who rules
Oh, shit.
Mystria. This guy was his master back in the day, right? So
Damn.
he gets this piece of property as his own little fiefdom. He's got a magic staff that they pulled out of the dragon's lair. He's
Nick.
got two
Oh,
apprentices,
shit.
or 2 assistants and 4 apprentices. They're very serious.
Oh,
You
my.
should
shit.
keep your head as low as possible. Don't go up to the keep for anything. If they
So he's like some sort
suspect-
of giga wizard.
Yes. He gives
A
you a
magic
wink.
staff, Nick.
Man, if
we
we
could sell that to
steal
Malchus.
We could give it... Oh, yeah, we
Look,
could just give
I
it to Shybrook,
see-
though.
I see the glitter in your eyes, guys. Did you see the 4 bodies, right? This is a
Listen, wait, let me
sort
stop.
out
Just because
the
we're from
crimes in the
Stromheim.
afterlife.
Just because we're from Stromheim doesn't make us thieves, okay?
I hear you, but I say elven wine, I say magic staff, I say scoria treasure. There's a look, all right? There's a look.
I'm a gem salesman.
A guy's allowed to be impressed. That's all it is.
That's
it's just
fine,
a good
just-
story. Yeah.
It'll
Alright,
be
well, no,
your
we-
bodies
we-
up there. But they don't need a
We
reason.
appreciate
Do you
the,
understand? They don't need a
Nick,
reason.
this is a big DM warning.
Yeah, no, I understand.
all right.
I appreciate the
just-
stories, mate. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
no, it's good. Yeah,
Now,
it's
if
good.
you need to store your valuables with me while you're in town, you can also store your valuables with me while you're in town.
What's the staff do?
I don't know.
It's magic staff. What do you think it does?
You think
Shoots
he goes
fireballs.
around telling me what it does?
Well, I would
fucking
assume
wizard.
if I had a magic staff, I would show you. I'd use it, and then people would, fear
This
me.
is why that's why no one would give you a magic staff, Pigeon.
Yeah, well, I gave your mom a magic staff, bitch.
Eraser says, you fucked your
That's
own
your
grandma?
aunt.
Yeah, I
Ants.
did.
Ants. Whatever. Yeah, 3 more beers, thanks.
He pours
get-
his 3 more beers.
You do food here? Well,
course.
we've been on the road all day. Ah, perfect. Well, we'll get like 4 plates of food.
Absolutely. Coming right up. You like bullywug legs, right? I'm just kidding. It's fried chicken, fried potatoes. Lots of
Love it.
paprika.
That's what we want.
All right. You can settle in to like a nice wooden booth. It looks new. Still smells like linseed oil. It's got comfy cushions on it. And you can see the sides of the table have like little etchings, but they're not complete. It looks like various patrons have been sitting here like carving things into the sides of the tables, because each table's got like a little bit of rough carving on the edges.
Nick, a barrel of elven wine.
Dude, this is a cool town. They've got magic staff. They've got Imric's teacher.
They got 4 apprentices.
Yeah, elven
And 2
wine.
assistants.
And there's like no crime here. This is a cool place. So there's 2 apprentices and 2 assistants.
2 assistants, 4 apprentices, and
They're all
Divan.
wizards.
That's the gist that you're
That's the
getting,
implied,
but the
yeah, that's
DM
what's
is not
implied.
confirming it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd settle for an assistant. We don't need an apprentice.
What's better?
Well, there's 2 assistants and 4 apprentices, so I assume that the assistants are better. I don't know.
Oh, well, then you wouldn't be settling.
Sorry, yeah. I mean, I'll settle for the worst wizard. I don't, which anyways gonna do us.
Yeah, I
only
want the 18 int wizard, man.
We only need
Because-
level 1 spells.
Hear me out. I don't know what the other stats are, but the 18 int wizard, he's probably too smart, and he's probably pissed off that his teacher is a fraud.
It's not fraud. He taught the greatest wizard to ever live.
Yeah. I don't know.
I bet he goes around telling everyone that Imrit was a shit student as well. Motherfucker.
You fucking know he does, man.
Yeah. No, he should have a bit. Like, it sounds like Imrit gave him the staff and gave him the town, though. So
Yes.
you might have a bit of respect. All right. Well, I don't know what we're gonna do here because that sounds like we're gonna get ourselves killed, but it's cool as fuck, though.
What's the fucking plan, man? You're the plan guy.
The plan is to go hang out at the beach in the morning, put our feet in the water, sip some cocktails, make crude comments about the passing talent. Just kick back for a week.
We gotta pull a job off.
God,
We're not
we've
in
been
a
here
rush.
for like less than an hour.
Yeah. Let's just we can take like a week here, no problem. We can take 2 weeks if we want. Let's just hang out for a few days and absorb the vibe. I've got a feeling maybe something will find us.
None of this treasure's going anywhere, right?
That's my man.
Yeah, but the elven wine's getting drank.
And then he'll probably buy more.
Yeah. Oh shit.
What about? Oh,
Wait,
I got
we
the
we wait for
shipping
it to come in.
documents.
Oh shit.
What shipping documents?
You know the Lord. 1 second, let me find the name.
Wait,
the
but
LMSS letterheads.
Isn't that guy also Dracissian though? Like this fella might. He might know. He might know him.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Dracissian, the bartender that you were talking to here in the half pint, in the den, he is Dracissian. You can hear his Dracissian accent.
No way. I gotta leave this bar.
No, it's fine.
No, I don't like that. I don't like
It's
that
the
shit,
only other.
man.
It's the only other bar, man.
Well,
Yeah, but
I hate to tell
those
you,
halflings are from here.
that guy you asked for help on the road from, he also had a Dracissian accent. And that woman
that's
who was telling you
disgusting.
about the bodies hanging, she had a Mystrian accent.
Okay.
Oh, no.
No, we don't like that.
Wait, this whole town is immigrants
You've
coming
only-
over here,
You've only talked
stealing
to 3
our
people,
buildings.
and they've
They're
all been
coming over
immigrants.
here, man. This
They're
is
coming-
terrible. This sounds terrible.
There's no room. Okay.
in the burned down town.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm
the
gonna
vibes
get up
just
and
changed.
excuse. Yeah, I'm gonna get up and excuse
No.
myself outside of the den, and then
Eraser
see anybody-
looks at Luther. Should we go after him?
Well, I'm telling you, Eraser, I'd like to stay here and drink, and I'd have no problem leaving Pigeon to go and sulk on his own. But I'm a little bit worried he's going to do something stupid.
I'm just
I
going
know.
for a piss, is what he said before.
When we left Sierra to do his own thing, he turned up dead a
know.
moment later. Look, why don't you go out look after your nephew, huh?
Okay, but keep my seat warm. I'll be back.
Yeah, he puts his feet on your seat.
I down my drink and head out after Pigeon. That's 2. That's 2 beers.
Okay, Pigeon, you have a 2-minute head start. Where
He's
are you going?
pissing, but he's also looking at the half pint. Does anybody come out in these 2 minutes?
Looking at the half pint. Longing for the half pint. No.
Yeah.
No one comes out, but you can see like a halfling taking over like a big tray of 6 beers over to a table with 2 dwarves at it, and she like sets all 6 of them down, and she like tussles their hair, and they seem to be having a good time, and they're laughing over there through one of the open windows.
Oh, I walk over to one of the open windows.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I peek in. Is my coin good here? I'm Eridonian. I don't like the.
Says something in Dwarven that you don't understand, but like you totally understand to be a crude comment. You know?
I give him a wave. I love dwarves and I got a lot of coin.
He goes back to his conversation, trying to ignore you.
I look for the bartender or the maid, the waitress, and I say, I'll pay double for drinks.
The bartender from, on the other side, he's having a conversation with his people. He's like, gesticulating with them, and you're starting to call through the window. And he looks up from his conversation. He just sort of shakes his head at you, and then tries to get back into it. You get the vibe that everyone in that room can hear you, and they're all ignoring you.
Ridiculous, man.
See.
Maybe you just need to be louder. You just made one or two polite comments. Maybe you need to push it a little harder.
No, I
when
passed my
Emmerich shows up.
willpower check. I'll say, okay, sorry for disturbing you. And I'll leave.
I see him from across the square, putting his mouth to the
because it's not
shutters,
glass.
right?
It's shutters that are open, and some of them had been left open to let the night breeze through. Yeah.
And I have a great idea, and I go over to Pigeon, and I sort of put my arm around him and pull him away from the shutter. I say, I've got a plan.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right,
Finally.
listen. What do we do? Okay, we wait for it to go dark. I start walking around the half pint Neil, and I'm looking for a cellar entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get hit. You're right.
We just need to steal a barrel of beer. That's
We
all
gotta
we need to
pull
do.
a job off on them.
No, we don't. I'm not saying we steal all their gold or whatever. We just steal one barrel of beer. We take it to the beach. We have a fucking great time.
Agreed. Well, I don't think that's a good idea.
That. We could just get a couple of pitchers.
Yeah.
And we could just fill a couple of pitchers up and then take them away.
Yeah, I agree. Is there a cellar?
Yeah.
Okay, we just gotta wait for it to close though.
Yep.
The cellar entrance is actually on the front side of the half pint, because you probably
that's
roll up your
unfortunate.
supplies and then you just roll them right into the cellar. There's the front door, and there is a side door.
Luther,
Yeah.
normally I would, but we got a real chance here to pull off a real job.
Uh-huh.
Let's not get involved in these shenanigans.
Do you know what? You're a smart kid, Pigeon. Yeah, let's go back to the pub and talk it through.
Well, yeah, let's go to the Storybrook. Was the Storybrook owner, was he Eridonian?
No, but it's an inn, not a tavern, right? If I remember Shybrook, they had a thing about that. They didn't serve beer in the inns.
Yep, that's true. The Storybrook is just an inn. The Den, the half pint, and the main are all.
Oh, is the main is a tavern as well?
Well, it was. It's no longer functional. It's been turned into a
okay.
warehouse. This map hasn't been updated in
20
10 years? 15 years?
At least 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Was
we
he
go back to
Eridonian in the Storybrook?
Yes. The guy in the Storybrook is Eridonian. I had to
We
remember
might be able
what
to
the
get
19
somewhere with
meant.
him then. Okay, we go back to the den and I, does Eraser move his feet as I get back to the...
Oh, yeah.
Has he bought me another pint?
Eraser has four fresh
Perfect.
pints on the table, 2 in front of each of your seats, and 2 more empty pints in front of his seat.
Legend.
You
All right,
guys
well, I
come
sit
back
back-
in.
clears
I
the
sit back
table.
down and I...
He's all
I-
about business. Go ahead.
I hand him one of my beers, right, so he doesn't have to go back to the bar.
He waves it off. I just had a short drinking contest with a woman. It was
Oh,
very
yeah?
fast, yeah. She bet
You
we
win?
need to see who could drink faster, and I fucking trounced her. She took off. It was
Yeah,
embarrassing.
let's go. High five.
He gives you a high five.
All right. Now listen. He clears the table as you guys are drinking and doesn't drink his drinks.
Mmm.
We got to pull off a job here. And there's a few things that we could go after. We can go after the barrel. We can go after those ships. We can go after the wizard and the magic staff. I say this I'm trying to be quiet
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
because I'm not an idiot. What are we gonna do?
The real prize here, Pigeon. It's not a barrel of wine or some beer or whatever, or a staff. Well, I mean, the staff would be a prize. We're never going to get that. But we need to get one of these wizards, We need to find a reason to get drinking with one of these apprentices and make them an offer they can't refuse.
What do you mean?
That's what we need to do. Well, I
Like to
don't know.
join us?
Yeah, give them some, say, I don't know. We need to think it through, but if I could pick anything from this town to leave with, it'd be a wizard, not
Not a girl?
some wine. I got a girl back in Thornwood.
Yeah, she's hot. Well, yeah, she's hot.
She was hot. I'm glad you guys are admitting it.
She's pretty tired, though. You bored her to death. I mean, I almost to death. I guess she could have died.
I think you fucking scared her to sleep.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's take the week, as Eraser said, and I'll go around town and I'll find where they all go.
Yeah.
Where they hang out, who they are.
You never knew how to chill out, Pigeon. So here's what I'm saying, right? Let me and Eraser chill for a week, get our R&R in. And you can skulk around and find shit out. Just don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Until you speak to us. Just look, yeah? Find out, research.
Pigeon promise. I'm a changed man. Before, I would have went over to the half pint, murdered half of them, and stole all their beer. But now I have real restraint.
You do me a favor, though.
Yeah.
Do me a favor, at least for tonight. Let me have a drink with my nephew, will you?
Yeah, I'll stay here.
All right. Good.
We get hammered.
Nice.
Yeah, we get hammered. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's good because our inn is literally across the street, so
So easy.
even if we get too drunk, we can still stumble back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll read some lips, Koibu.
Ah.
I'll take a disadvantage on these read lips because I'm getting hammered.
Yeah, why don't you make me 4 read lips checks? And then I'm going to roll for how good the information is on each of these. 17, 32, 21, 20. All right, so the 17 you don't get. The 32 is a pretty ordinary conversation. There's a merchant, not a merchant, a customer. There we go. There's a person who's talking about having ordered something back from... Actually, you don't speak Drakissian, do you?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, you definitely don't. You can read lips, but you can't read the language.
I just speak Eridonian.
The 21 is a Eridonian, actually, here, who is talking... Wow, that's actually worked out very well for you. With the 21, there is a local Eridonian who is talking about the sheriff in town and how the sheriff in town is what's the right way to phrase that? He is so... This is the conversation that you're picking up on, is the person trying to say something delicately. I think Sheriff Blackwater is extremely judicious about making sure everyone pays their taxes and their fines and their fees. In fact, I think he might be a little overzealous at points in time, not because he's got any bad intention, but I ended up having to pay importation fees twice on the dyes from Ethos. Once when I ordered them, once when I bought them. And I pointed this out to Mr. Blackwater. And he said his records indicated I hadn't. I know I had. I wonder if maybe, I wonder if maybe there's someone else in his office that is doing a poor job with the paperwork. I swear. Dye taxes are expensive, and just someone should maybe help them out with their books. God, if only there was a more appropriate bookkeeper. And the person that he's talking to is just sort of like, I suppose, but and then in a slightly louder voice, I sure am thankful for Sheriff Blackwater.
Okay, I stop reading their lips and I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm. And with the 20 you miss, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Want to skip a little time here and do some dice to see who follows what? Skip a week?
Yeah, I think we mostly relax. I'm trying to think what we could do with the papers from the Lord Marshal's shipping service or whatever.
Yeah, I'll look. Are there any ships during this week that have like a LMSS flag on it or resemble?
His name's Richard, by the way, Richard Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I was thinking like we could impersonate being his representative, but we just don't speak Dracissian, so
Nope.
there's just no way we would manage that.
Okay, so the things that you want to look into here are ships that might be connected to Lord Richard Marshall somehow.
Yep.
What else are we looking for?
The 4 wizards and the 2 apprentices, or the 2.
Yeah, we'd like if we can find
assistants.
like where they drink, any of them, that would be great.
Yeah.
They might drink at the Noble Sack. I guess like over the course of the week, we might head over into that area, Neil. Is that a noble bar, or where do the nobles drink?
There are no nobles in this town.
So they
They probably
in the
all drink
keep.
at the keep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the noble sack is gone. And as you will go throughout this town, you will get the vibe that there is literally no nobility. Like it's Lord Armstrong at the top, and everyone is his direct subject. There's no
Sick.
intermediaries. He must own all the land here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How much power do the apprentices in that have? Like not.
This guy's
that's
probably
a
a
good
tyrant. His apprentices are
question.
probably going to want to leave, at least one of them.
Yeah.
What was
My
the
main
question? Do
goal
the
is to
apprentices
find
have
the
any power?
apprentices. Yeah.
What if we
That
could?
was his question, yeah.
Sorry. Josh, question.
Yeah, what you had wanted to know what power do the apprentices have or something?
No, I don't think I mean that is what I said. I'm not that bothered. I've got a thought though, right? What if we could this guy's like a real hard ass, right? Like that's kind of the impression we're getting. What if we could engineer an embarrassment for one of the apprentices so he gets severely like reprimanded and punished and then use that as an excuse to be like, hey, do you want to come and work for us instead?
It's a really good idea. I just want to remind you of one thing. This guy's trap maker made traps for Scoria's lair.
Oh yeah.
That was another thing.
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. So we don't want to, we're not breaking into the keep. I think we need to do something. This has to be the time for acting to come into the fray, because if we try and break in, we're gonna get burnt to a crisp or something, right? Like I'm gonna hear Destiny in my ear saying like, what if the floor turns slower?
Yeah.
And this
I
time
agree.
he might actually be right.
He might. And they did spend all of their money on the keep.
Yeah. So the keep's gonna be. So like we could maybe get in there through show of wealth potentially.
Maybe.
Maybe the apprentices aren't that well paid. Maybe if we put out word to the right person that we're willing to pay top dollar for a doctor, and we know that the only doctor is one of the apprentices, that might get them to come out of the keep to us.
Is one of the doctors the apprentices, Koibu? Is that what we were told?
We can add that into the list of questions to investigate.
Sweet.
That is what we were told, I think.
I think that's what the innkeeper said. Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. All right. I will try to follow the apprentices around town, or at least get a view of the keep and see who they are. I just kind of want to speed through
it
this
would
and
be
make it
good,
mechanical.
Yeah. If we could find out what regular jobs the apprentices have around town. Like maybe they're picking
They gotta go
something
pick
up
up
for
shit.
him, or there's something they're doing that we could fuck up for them without them knowing that we fucked it up for them. And
Probably
then-
something on the docks. One of them runs the docks. Because this wizard, he runs everything. This is his fiefdom.
Exactly,
And
so
his apprentices are
he's-
his enforcers.
Yeah, and he's gonna take like a personal interest in everything that goes on here. So if they fuck up, it's gonna be like their head directly. So we can I think that's quite a good idea. Like engineer some embarrassment and then use that as a reason to get them to leave.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, but we spend a week on the beach now. At least me and Eraser do.
Okay. So I've got a small list of questions here. Why don't we take a short break while I consider good answers to these questions, and we'll come back on the other side and see how our vacation's going.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Our beach vacation is going good. Let's see if we've got some beach vacation music going on here. Land. Oh, yeah. This is it. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've
So you
got
guys are
pina
hanging
colada.
You got some drinks. You got the
Pigeon's
nice
not
warmth.
hanging out.
Is there a place to get drinks on the beach? What's the vibe on the beach? Is it kids? Is it
There is
bikini girls?
no. It's not like a resort. So there's no drinks for sale on the beach. You can bring your own beverages if you'd like, and plenty of people would. It's a very busy place. Like, people aren't vacationing. People aren't like resting and playing and hanging out. Granted, on the weekends, you might get a little bit more attention down here, but most people don't know how to swim. So, very, very shallow sections of the water.
That's true. We don't know how to swim either, so.
Yeah. Swimming's very dangerous. And without like pools and lifeguards and floaties, and really safe environments, it's hard. Imagine having to learn to swim like in a river or in the ocean. Like, it's doable, but by and large, shit's hard.
Still though, we're enjoying it, and I will get my feet wet from time to time.
Pigeon's
I build
not
myself up
enjoying
to it over the days.
He's working hard to find out the info while these
He
guys
doesn't rest,
slack
this kid.
around.
All
Won't
right,
stop. He
Pigeon.
won't stop.
There's a lot of things here. A lot of information to get. I don't know if you can get all of this information in a single week by yourself. What are you prioritizing? We talked about a lot of things. Did you have one that stood out to you the most?
Yeah, finding out where the wizards go. And then, can you just read the quick list back to me?
Are there any ships from Lord Richard Marshall? Who are the wizards? Where do they drink? What's the deal with Sheriff Blackwater? How do we embarrass an apprentice? What's the deal with the trap maker? Who's the doctor? What do the apprentices do around town? Just following them around town.
Yeah, I'll lock in on the apprentices and the doctor.
Right.
Can I get a night of healing for that?
Well, I was going to kind of just spend the whole week
Sure, we can
and
do
give
that, yeah.
everyone rested up, like 7 HP. Because I imagine what you're doing is not like rooftop to rooftop spying. What you're doing is probably more like talking to locals to try and get the vibe of the area.
No, I'm doing rooftop to rooftop spying.
Oh, well then probably no HP because you are moving, you're exerting yourself, you're on your own.
Yeah,
Do you need
my
to be on the
charisma's
rooftops,
not.
though?
Well, my charisma's not good.
Right. But
Pigeon
that's a
doesn't get
vibe,
his
is that-
info.
Yeah. He's not.
He doesn't get his info that way.
He tries to watch. So you find like
Exactly.
a place to watch the castle.
Yep.
He watches the watchers,
Pigeon. He watches.
It's a circle of accountability, Nick. Everyone has someone watching them.
Yeah, the goal
True.
this week isn't for us to get in a fight either way, so I shouldn't be super worried.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get the doctor too. So yeah, it's good.
Doctor.
Get some rolls in.
please.
All right, Pigeon. You're wanting to watch the castle. And this, if we're looking at the map here, right, the entrance to the castle would be like up this road, yeah?
Yep.
But this area, right in here, this like prime real estate by the castle has not been rebuilt. And the section known as Smithside also not been rebuilt. So this whole area is kind of just like crumbled, burnt out ruins that you got to pass through to get to the castle, which makes it awkward to hang out there. Now you could hang out somewhere along this road and just see if anyone comes down into.
No.
How would
Yeah,
you?
but if he's gonna be on the roof, surely the
Well, rooftop was just a vibe. That wasn't supposed to be too descriptive.
yeah.
How do you want to do this, Pigeon? Do you want to be hiding in the ruins? Or do you want to be on the road? Do you literally want to get on a rooftop? Because if you get high enough up, you can just watch the keep from a high place, It's,
Yeah, I want to get high. I want to get like on top of a roof in a chimney, and I want to, I want to sit inside the chimney.
You want to sit somewhere high up where people won't see you and just watch the castle to see what comes in and out.
Yeah, if a wizard type person, apprentice guy comes out, I'll go. Here's what I'll do first. I'll pay someone on the street, probably at the bar, to give me like a description of the wizards and the apprentices.
Okay. So you find
And
a person,
then-
and you're gonna pay them just like, hey, I want to know what's the line, like, because
Yeah.
when you say here's some money, tell me all about this, that could come off a little sketchy, right? I don't know if you're trying to just be direct or if you're trying to be indirect. How are you?
You.
What's up?
Have you ever seen the wizard and his apprentices?
Lord Devon? Of course I have, says the person in a Dracissian accent.
What about his workers?
What do you want to know? Huh? Why are you asking?
Well, I'm new to town, and I've never seen a wizard before.
He's a man. He wears robes. He wears blue.
I'll let this
lots
guy
of
go.
blue. All right,
Dracissian? No. I go and I'll keep going until I find an Eridonian.
All right. Eventually, you stumble across an older Eridonian woman. Now, when I say Eridonian, I'm going to take us back to the big map for a moment here. What I mean is that Eridonian is her native tongue, and there's a section of the world where Eridonian is the native tongue, but they're not quite Eridonian. Out here in the area known as like the Free Cities, Shelton, Drunesbar, Roxas, this whole zone out here, they all speak like a dialect of Eridonian. I don't know if it's exactly like Swiss German versus German, but it's like you can understand each other.
Can I pick that up?
The language is a little bit different. It's like Mexican Spanish and Spanish or whatnot. So
it's like French versus Quebec.
Yeah. So like you can understand her no problem and she can understand you no problem, but you can just tell right away that like she's not from Eridon. She's from somewhere else.
I don't trust her either then. If I don't find anybody, then I'm just gonna go watch the castle. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna look a few more times.
For someone who's specifically from proper Eridon.
A true Eridonian.
You talk to 20 people, you don't find a single Eridonian.
Okay. I go to my roof, and the first day I'll just watch the castle.
Okay. Now, this is
roof in the ruins of Smithside.
A roof in the ruins. Okay. Excellent. I am going to need... why don't you just roll one of all of your thief skills right now, and I'll pull out the answer that I need from the list that we see. And those are all in order, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay, so pickpockets is a 24, picklocks is a 40, move silently is a 22, hide is a 26, eavesdrop is a 15, climb is a 9, disguise... Oh, whoops, I missed something. I think we missed a climb. There we go. Yeah, because it should be 16, 8, 15, 7, 8. Perfect. So climb is a 23, disguise is a 9, forgery is a 15. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, so you go up into Smithside, you explore the ruins. You know, there's a lot of shit here. You find a spot where there's this was probably a 3-story building once upon a time, and it's fairly crumpled down. There's not much in the way of, like, chimney that you could hide in, but there is enough of, like, a debris pit near one of these upper areas that you could lay low here and get a nice view of... You could get a nice view of this section down here. The proper castle's up here. You can kind of see the gate on the proper castle, but like there's enough little bushes and just like little foliage growing up that this right here, you could make out real details on this little section.
Perfect.
And you watch the keep. Give me a perception check, Pidge. Nice. So you're hanging out here, and the first day, the only things that you see coming and going from the keep are staff, people who live in the town and work in the keep, and you probably miss them going to work.
Does any of them look beat up or like reprimanded? Anybody whipped? Anybody looking sad?
Nobody looks particularly beaten or sad or anything like that. It just looks like people coming home after a regular day. Yeah. I mean, they trickle out in different waves towards evening time.
Any of them look really poor?
They all look servant class. Nobody looks below that.
Anybody very young?
Yes. Yes, there are children that work there. There are young adults who work there. There are old adults. There's the full spectrum of ages.
We don't want one of the old people. One of the children. What are we talking, like 15?
We've got kids as young as 12 working there, sometimes with their parents, but you'll have 14-year-olds, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. There's probably 30 people who work in the keep and come from town. So I would say 10 of them are children.
You mean like a
15 of them
16-year-old?
are middle-aged, and 5 are elderly. 16-year-old. Yeah.
15 to 14 to 18, we'll call it. So whatever, I'll go for that range.
Yeah.
And I'll come
there's
on
gonna be
down to
5,
talk to them.
There's going to be 5 people in that category, but you probably don't want one who's walking with a parent, right? You're looking for someone who's
For one alone.
or
Yep.
with other kids.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, there's a group that meets that specification. It has 2 people in it. A girl that's probably 16 or so, and a boy who's probably 12 or so. And they are coming down the road in the early, like well before evening, late afternoon, let's call it, by themselves.
Hey, you two.
Well, you gotta catch up with them, right? You gotta leave your hidey place and then chase
I leave
them
the
down
hidey
the
hole,
road.
and I want to meet him in, like, I want to run, and I want to try and meet him in the abandoned area of Smithside. My goal would be, like, probably around here if I could make it.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, you catch up to the 2 kids. You yell, "Hey!"
You two, you want to make some money?
And are they good kids? Are they well trained by their parents?
Don't talk to strange.
Don't talk to
Men.
strange men coming out of ruins offering you candy. No, these kids are not that well trained. The younger boy goes, "Yeah!" And the older girl sort of steps in front of him and says, "What do you want?"
Just some information.
Like what?
Well, come over.
Who are
here.
you?
Shouldn't ask questions. Now, if you want some money, I'll pull a bag off the side, open it. 50 gold coins are inside. Let's have a conversation.
The girl sees the money. She eyes you up and down. She's going to make a charisma check to see if she can trust you, but she's just a child, so her charisma is at disadvantage because she's not fully grown yet, and her judgment is not sound. 3, 4, 5 charisma. Yeah, and give me a charisma check, Mr. Moon, to be as,
Ooh, he's
flattering
done
and
it.
cool. And you've done
22.
it. You beat her. All right.
Steve Buscemi, hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, literally.
She walks off the road with you as you head into a nearby.
12-year-old come too or no?
Yeah, the 2 of them come together.
Okay.
She's holding his hand now.
Okay.
You can kind of
All
duck
right.
into a shady spot.
How much money do you make? A year.
He shrugs. I don't know.
How much money do you make a week?
I don't know.
Do they pay you at the castle?
Mom collects all the money.
Oh, so you want to make some real money, huh?
I don't know. What is it?
I'll go into my bag and I'll pull out a gem. I'll show her one of my topaz gems. Now look at this.
I thought there was gold. You said gold.
I have gold too. And platinum.
She nods her head enthusiastically. What is it?
I want you to tell me about those wizards inside.
All of them? There's a lot.
Well, I want to know about the 4 apprentices and then the 2 assistants. I want to know what they look like.
Well, there's Donna, Mijdal, Celinda.
Write these down, Nick.
Bobbert,
Okay, wait. Hang on.
Donna, Midgel, Celinda, Bobbert,
2
Reyna,
secs.
and
Reyna,
Kirmus.
and Kirmus. Okay, which one's like the smartest?
Sorry, I wasn't ready to write. Donna, Midgel,
Midgedill,
Midge,
Celinda, Bobbert, Reyna, and Kirmas.
Reyna, Kiermas.
I'm just going to give a little screenshot of all their names written down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I gotta spell it right.
I mean, as long as we're not just relying on Mooton's memory for these things, might as well just do it full send.
Okay.
Yeah, ignore the top ONG. That's just the end of Armstrong.
All right. Which one's the smartest one?
Probably Devon. He's the boss. He's the wizard in charge.
I nod. Well, is he treating me as his wizards badly?
I don't know. I scrub pots in the kitchen. How would I know?
Okay, there's no need to get angry. I'm just asking some questions here. I'll put a gold in each of their hands right now.
All right. Nice. Made some money.
Let's see if I got any more questions. Okay, and then what do they look like? You don't have to tell me. You can just say gives description, of which ones.
Yeah. She will describe these people to you. And remember, this is like a 15-year-old describing things.
Yeah.
So she describes a lot of these people as like really old. But when a 15-year-old sees like someone who's 32 and they're like, oh, she's old. And you're like, come on. Really?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get that there is one half-elf among the group.
Which one?
Celinda is a half-elf.
Okay.
There are 3 men, 3 women.
Midgedill, Bobbert, and KMS are the men.
Yep. Reyna, Celinda, and Donna are the women. Yep. Let's see. Celinda, the half-elf, is very short. She's like 5'2". And Reyna is really tall for a woman. She's 5'8". One of the men is Mistrian Kirmas. And he's got a dark complexion like you do. Let's see. Midgedill is also Mistrian. And pretty much everyone else is Dracissian. Except Celinda, who is half-elf. She says she doesn't give a nationality, but she's like, oh, she's not Mistrian or Dracissian. She's a half-elf.
You work in the kitchen. Where'd they put the elven wine?
All the wine goes in the cellar.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Where's the cellar at?
Why do you want to know?
Put another gold in her hand.
More, she says, judging the situation.
I laugh. I'll put 10 gold in her hand.
The cellar's under the kitchen, dummy. Obviously, there's a door by the front. There's like the front door. There's the wall, and then there's the courtyard, and then there's the keep, and there's a little rampy doory place to the left side of the keep door, and that goes right down under into the cellars, and the kitchen's right there on the left side too.
You two ever work nights?
No.
Oh, who takes the night shift?
There's no pots to scrub in the night.
I nod. You've never... Okay, how many guards are on the wall?
I've never counted.
I nod. It's fair. I think I've asked pretty crazy questions. I've paid them a lot of money, so they're happy.
Do we
Gave 'em
get
like 10 grand?
heights for Bobart and Kiermas and Midgedill and Donna or not?
I don't know. The men are all same height. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone else seems to just sort of be like average or whatever, not really standing out.
Do you ever see the wizards in town?
Well, Celinda teaches swimming once a week down by the river, and sometimes they go out to gather things in the forest, or to bring something from a boat, or to talk to some of the workers and buy stuff in town.
What day does she teach swimming?
Fridays.
What's today?
You arrived on Friday night.
Okay, so we got it. Okay, cool. So my friends will stop being lazy losers. by Friday.
I was
That's
going to say, I don't mind if we find like avenues for, charisma information gathering. You can bring that back to me. I'm not sure that the half elf is going to be the best option here, though.
You don't think so?
I feel like Kiermas is going to be the best option. I know it seems like a little bit crazy, but given that he's black like us, I feel like that might,
Plus one to charisma.
endear
Our
him to us
brother.
a little bit. Yeah. Well, that's I mean, that is a thing, though, right? Like, yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't just mean about black people, just general like cultural.
And
well, I guess
how do
as
you
well.
get into the castle?
Through the front door.
You just walk in. Do they check you?
They know me. We've never been. Who are you? These are weird questions. Like, do you not understand how the world works?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, she nods in understanding. Yeah.
I give her a gold. All right. I think I've given you 13 gold.
That's a lot of gold, man.
I know.
Her parents are going to find that.
Now, I don't want anybody, I don't want you to tell anybody about this conversation. You understand?
What do you mean?
I'm going to have to kill him, I think.
Nate, no.
Mate,
Do not murder children.
I don't like her answer. Well, I don't want you telling anybody you talk to me.
Why not?
Because what we just talked about is confidential.
Okay.
Nick.
Killing her is so much worse. So much worse.
I look at the kid, the 12-year-old. What's he looking like?
He has been shutting the fuck up. That seems like this must be his sister, and he's just been letting her talk, and he's just been watching and holding out his hand for coins.
You like money, right?
Yeah?
What do you want to do someday?
What do you mean?
You just want to work here as a pot hound? You want to clean pots for the rest of your life?
No.
Okay, well, what do you want to do?
What? Well, eventually I'm going to be a maid. Just like Mom.
Oh, your mom's a maid, huh? You ever thought about moving to a big city?
No.
Okay. Well, what are you going to do with that? I point towards the gold.
She shrugs. I don't know. I've never seen gold before. Not like this.
You know, that's a lot of money, right?
She nods. She understands this is a lot of money.
You want more?
She nods.
Meet me back here in a week. But don't tell anybody about our conversation. And I'll give you some more. You got it?
The 15-year-old gets a serious look on her face.
What about you? I point to the kid.
The kid looks to his sister and nods enthusiastically.
What are your names?
Let me just make notes here so I don't forget. The 15-year-old girl is named oh fuck, I have a name. Her name is, oh my god, why isn't I here? Valuria, she says.
Nice.
Well, nice to meet you. All right.
Now,
I'll talk to
would,
you. Yeah.
You would know, Mr. Mooton, that Valuria is the name of the Dracissian empress who owns pretty much all of Arcadia right now. This girl that you're talking to, she's only 15-ish, ballpark. She doesn't seem to have like a straight up Drakissian accent, but if she moved here and has been in this like weird, immigrants mixed with local, like maybe she is Drakissian by birth and she just doesn't have that accent because she's grown up in this area. Like she does speak a little funny. She doesn't speak like a proper Eridonian, but it's that mishmash of different accents all merged together. Maybe she's Mystrian, maybe she's a Free City person, maybe she's Eridonian, but she's definitely grown up with the weird accent that's developing in this little town.
Now, before you go, I'll make you a deal. You can either have that 13 gold, or you can have any of these. And I'll show her my 7 pieces of miscellaneous jewelry.
Nope,
and
she wants the gold.
The Martha necklace.
She doesn't even look over the jewelry. She holds the gold close to her chest.
All right. Meet me here in 1 week.
Okay. And she grabs her brother by the hand, and they hurry down and out into the town.
All right. I'll go tell Luther and Eraser everything that I've learned.
Yeah, it's probably towards the back of the day, so we're probably like getting back to the inn, getting cleaned up after the beach. I listen intently to this information. So what we didn't find out was which 2 were the assistants and which 4 were the apprentices, right? So we don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, this is only
wizard to
one,
wizard,
Yeah.
right?
It's
this
only
is not
day
the
1.
full week of searching.
Yep.
I'm thinking what I might do tonight is see if I can ask around the taverns. I mean, that's really just the what was it called? The den, and ask our innkeeper as well. Try and work out if anyone ever sees the wizards drinking around the town. And I feel like this is a really easy thing to start a conversation with. Never seen a wizard before. Want to meet one. I hear they're 10 a penny in this town. Where do I got to go to meet one of these guys? Do they ever come around drinking?
Right.
So I'm going to try and do that tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never
But I'm
met
not being
a
like
wizard.
suspicious. I'm not being suspicious like Pigeon just was with those kids. I weave it into casual conversation with my 15 charisma.
Right. Well, it's definitely going to take a charisma check because you're trying to extract information, and doing that without being suspicious is an art.
Yes.
True.
It's a hard
Just
art.
roll well.
It's not a problem. Not a problem for me, mate. I always roll well. I always roll exactly what I intend to.
What do you intend to roll?
I intend to roll a 7.
Natural 20.
Well, roll it.
20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Okay.
Oh!
That's all you need.
It's fine.
It's a modified 21, natural 6. It's a pass.
It's a pass.
Yeah, you're coming off as like
Naive.
fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're asking the bartender, was it, at the...
I was going to ask the bartender at the den. I've spent quite a lot of gold there now. So I figured that he might be amicable. Or the innkeeper at the Shybrook, who is Eridonian.
Well...
I would also like to ask the Shybrook. Well, I asked both of them.
Okay, perfect.
I asked both of them. I would also like to find out if the innkeeper at the Shybrook was here before, like... has he always been here, or like why is he like the one Eridonian guy here?
No. I moved in from Longcast.
Longcast, where's that?
I'm sorry, not Longcast. Blue Cliff. Sorry, my DM is bad. Blue Cliff
where's
is
that?
far to the northwest. Past north of High Castle, beyond Confluence, small little town along the Grand Canal.
It's like the other side of the country.
Yep.
It's a long way. How'd you
Picturesque
find
it
up
is.
down here?
Well, I heard people were resettling, and needed to get the fuck out of Blue Cliff.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, the west side of the country. No demons, fewer undead, but some dragons came by. Scoria set fire to Blue Cliff once upon a time. A lot of the people I knew had died. And the new folks who were sort of, the vibe had changed, So I figured, you know what? I got some money. I've got some carpentry skills. I know how to run a business. Why don't I just head down to the beach on the far side where you can actually go into the water and check out Shybrook. Maybe set up a little
This place,
something over here.
It's huge. This place must make some
Yeah.
gold. I mean, were you someone back in Blue Cliff, were you?
My parents had run an inn. I was working as a
Oh, okay.
handyman, you know, fixing this, fixing that, mostly fences, doors, rooftops, that sort of thing. But it gave me some skills. And when they died and everything had burned down and my lords and lieges had all died or ran off, I found myself in the rare situation where I didn't have any obligations. I didn't have any more family. I didn't have any more debts that I owed to anyone. I didn't even have a lord who I had to ask for permission to leave. So,
Look at you.
yeah, I guess you people
All right.
in the city don't have that bullshit, huh? You can kind of just do what you want. You're not tied to a piece of land and bonded to work it.
Yeah, it's a different kind of vibe in Stromheim, though. You know, I mean, like, yeah, we don't have any lords, but we also don't have any gods. It's kind of a free for all
Ooh.
out there. So it's, you know, you got to keep one eye on the back of your head. You know.
Well, this place is the best of both worlds. There's only the one lord, and he's very, you know, he's doing his own thing. He's got his own focus. As long as you don't attract his attention, you don't attract desire. And
He's got his own. Well, what is he doing up there all day?
fuck if I know. Wizard shit, man.
I mean, I
You know,
guess.
he's
but like
the
this,
wizard who trained King Imric McGarry.
I'd heard that. I
He's
also heard that
gifted
he's
this
got
entire
like.
town, you know? So, like, he's
Wow.
probably here doing something for the king.
Does this mean he's like a better wizard than the king?
I don't think so.
What if he taught him?
Yeah, but, like, you know, the apprentice outgrows the master eventually.
I guess, you know.
Well, this
I
guy,
guess.
fucking Divin Armstrong, great wizard that he is, didn't kill Scoria.
Yeah, he seems to spend his day hanging up drunks.
Well, as I said, as long as you don't detract his attention, you won't attract his ire.
He's doing something though. I mean,
Of course he is.
was it you that was telling me that there's like he's got like 5 or 10 other wizards in there working for him?
Yup.
What? You ever meet them?
I mean, I've seen him walk by, but they live here. They don't need inn services.
What? Yeah. You see him in the pub though, or
Oh, gods, no.
no? They don't. They don't like hang around with the rest of us.
Oh, my God. He works them like a dog. They are
Really?
busy.
Huh? What are they doing all? I mean, what do wizards even do? I mean, what could he need? Can't he just like magic up whatever he needs anyway?
He shrugs. I couldn't tell you the first thing about the magics. I really... Your guess is as good as mine. But
You
I know that
Ma-
the monsters, when they come into
Oh, yeah?
town, sheriff takes care of them for us. So, no real lords to look out after me. Decent law enforcement. No crime, essentially. Well, limited crime and then no crime. Yeah, it's a little bit of paradise.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, it does seem nice here. You know, my dad used to tell me this story when I was a kid. He used to say that he knew this fella once. He knew this guy who was a wizard. And apparently, I mean, I don't remember. I was just a kid, but he used to come around our house. He used to like, hang out with us from time to time. And this fella apparently said that I could have been a wizard, you know, if I'd had like the training and that, because I'm like super smart.
Your dad
Man,
tell you
and
that, huh?
Yeah, but I think about that a lot, you know. I just like, it makes me think, I wish I was rich, you know. I wish I had like, if I'd had those opportunities, who knows what I could have done. I mean, I've always just been fascinated with the idea, you know. I wish I could just like meet one, speak. I don't even know what it, like, how do you cast it? How does it work, you know? Like,
Yeah,
I thought maybe that if there's so many of them in this town, maybe I get a chance to meet one, but it doesn't seem like they ever
Oh,
come and hang out down here.
No. They're... Oh, man. I'd hate to have to be one of those apprentices.
Really?
Well, the
That's cast
impression you
magic?
get is that they're busy, you know? Like, when they come through town, they have a purpose. They've got a task, you know?
What kind of shit does he have them doing?
Escorting special cargo from ships. One of the wizards there teaches the kids swimming lessons, which is kind of weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, one of them's always down by the beach collecting sand. You know, like gets big bags of sand. Sometimes he gets other people to fill barrels up with sand and then roll it up the hill towards the castle for him.
Oh yeah, I've been hanging out on the beach. Maybe I saw him. What's he look like?
I don't know, 5'8", 195 pounds, 50-something years old.
All right, cool. I'm gonna keep an eye out for him. What does he wear? You know, does he wear a robe?
Balding guy. Blue shirt, blue coat, brown shoes.
You know his
I
name?
don't know. Midgedal.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that, Neil. 5'8". Blue clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bald. 50. That's kind of young, kind of old to be an apprentice, no?
Dude, magic shit is not my... I just keep my head down. I get a nice little
Don't put
business.
yourself down. You seem to know quite a lot about this. I wouldn't. You're an impressive guy. What did you say your name was? Travel halfway across the country, run an establishment like this. I've stayed in a lot of inns, my friend, and maybe it's the town. Like, it's good vibes here, but this is a really nice inn.
Oh, thank you. My name's Barbadell. You're, what'd you say your name was earlier? Luther?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you again.
All right, well, I can't remember how much we paid our room up for. We're probably going to stay for a week or maybe even 2. It's nice down here. We've been through some shit, you know, on the road, back home in the city, and I think me and the boys, you know, we need some time to just kind of like get it all out of our system. You know, the sea air.
And you said you wish you were rich. Yeah, you can just leave town, travel 100 miles, and then hang out for as long as you want. I hate to break this to you, kid, but you are rich.
Okay, I'm doing all right now, but there's a difference between making a living and coming up good and being born into it.
But you get to take the time to do whatever you want, and you travel wherever you want, whenever you want. Like, how? And you can then just change your plans and say you want to stay an extra week? Like, bro.
I'm not saying I'm not blessed. I'm blessed, sure.
I mean, obviously ain't noble, but...
I've worked for my money, though. You don't know the things that we've been through. Back in Stromheim, you know.
I'm sure I don't.
Yeah, well,
just
you don't want to know.
You got it pretty good.
Well, you know, it's good to get some perspective sometimes. Thanks, mate. What did you say his name was? Barbadell.
Barbadell.
Barbadell. Innkeep. Out the Storybrooke. All right. Well, I think I'm going to head to the den for a few beers. I don't know if you get to clock off, but if I see you in there, I'll buy you a pint.
I work all day, every night, on call 24/7.
You want me to bring you one over?
No. That's all right.
You sure?
He grabs his belly and gives it a bit of a shake. Things are getting a little out of hand. The wife says it's the beer. I'm trying to cut back a little.
Married man. See now who's really blessed. Love of a good woman.
I said blessing. I didn't have a lord. I still have a mistress, though. You know, a lady. She's woo.
I can imagine. All right, well, I'll let you get back to your work. Nice one.
Too. She's something else.
Drakissian.
Yeah. You know those forest people. You know the weird things they learn in the woods?
Oh, shit. I can only imagine. Hey, wait, one more thing, though, right? I met this guy in the city once. It was maybe a year after the war ended with Mystria. Mm-hmm. You know, so the Eridonian, the Drakissians, they'd sent their new, like, ruler to Stromheim and that. And there was a bit like down here, you know, there was a load of them in the city.
Yeah.
I was speaking to this one fella, and he was from Mystria. And he used to, well, he's an alcoholic, to be fair, but he was a reliable one. And he used to drink in this pub that was over the road from the keep in Crownhold, okay? And he says that every now and again, this chick would come into the bar, right? Bright red hair, most beautiful girl you've ever seen in your life. Amazing garments, like dresses like you've never seen, you know, embroidered, flashing colors, almost otherworldly. He said that this chick used to come in there every week, and him and all the other drunks, you know, they used to like ogle her when she wasn't looking. And he said that without fail, this girl used to finish her drinks and then head out of the tavern, up the road, right into the keep. And they used to watch her every week, you know, for months. Well, you'll never guess who that girl was. Apparently, that was Scoria.
The dragon.
Apparently so, you know, she used to turn up, have a few drinks, and then had to go and see the king, you know, before Imric cut his head off or whatever.
I mean, I know she could take human form, but she just, go have a pub, a pint down by the pub randomly?
I know. I mean, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, it's just her little routine or whatever. You know, maybe she was calming her nerves, or maybe she just wanted to check what the vibe was. But anyway, that's not the point. The point was, she was unbelievable. So I hear.
So I hear too. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in that town I told you earlier, whose name I grew up in Blue Cliff.
Blue Cliff. Yeah.
We seen her in her natural beautiful state. But we had always heard that she could take other forms. You know, the red hair that tracks. That's what I've heard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe
It's
it makes
so
you
weird
feel
that
better when she's
though.
burning down your homes.
Glad-
Yeah. Well,
glad
if it
she's
wasn't for
gone.
that fella up there, she'd still be here, right? He hadn't been such a good teacher.
Suppose.
Scory would be probably running this whole place now, so I guess we've got him to thank for that. Well, tell you what, I'm going to get that beer. I'm going to raise a pint to the, what'd you say the Lord was? Lord
Divin Armstrong.
Lord Devon. Yeah, well, here's to Lord Devon Armstrong for saving us from Scoria the Red.
To Lord Divin Armstrong and making at least one good McGarry.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right.
Okay, I'll leave. Having got my information without having to roll a charisma check. That's how it's done, boys.
You did roll a charisma check.
You did roll a charisma check.
Oh yeah, I did roll a charisma check. Sorry, but I don't feel like it was necessary. Okay, I go back to the bar with Pigeon and Eraser. So apparently, this one Mijdel guy. You hear about him, Pigeon? I think you mentioned him, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, 5'8", Mistrian, wears blue clothes, bald, about 50. He's got to be a bit like 50's kind of old to still be like working for someone else. No, maybe there's something in that. And
I don't know if I want a 50-year-old hanging out with us, man.
What do you mean? I'm like, I'll be 40 next year.
Yeah, but that 50's old.
50's the new 30, my friend. Trust me.
Who's his youngest wizard, Koibu?
You don't know.
Well, we don't know, do we? But apparently, anyway, this Mijdal fella, he collects sand on the beach. God knows what for, but might be a chance to catch him there. And another thing that Barbadell mentioned was that sometimes they'll collect special deliveries from the ships. Maybe that could be our in, you know, like if we engineer a situation where like they're carrying a delivery and it gets dropped and broken or something like that. That could be embarrassing enough. They get a ticking off from the wizard. Maybe that's our way in. I don't know, just a thought, but we got all week, so.
Yeah, let's speed through this week and see what information we got.
Yeah.
We can speed through it as long as we're taking low profile actions. If you're going to keep hanging out in the ruins and watching the gates, I'm going to need some more dice rolls and some more role play. But if we're just going to...
I'll take a low profile spot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I continue to do that kind of thing, Neil, just to try and, like, I got some information on Mijdal there. I might try and have similar conversations and kind of work out a little bit more information about the others.
If I see the wizard, I'll, we can roleplay that, but other than that,
let's see. I need an eavesdrop from Pigeon.
lip read?
Eavesdrop.
23.
Excellent. So you can spend some time down by the docks, which have been rebuilt and are fully functional. And you're sort of looking for... The docks are busy. There's a lot of people moving around sometimes, and it's easier to overhear something than it is to read lips, just because, you don't have to maintain line of sight. You don't have to be staring someone down. And sure enough, you will hear the name Lord Marshall spoken a few times in like reference to either a ship that is his or like cargo that is his coming off of the ship.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, was there something more specific you wanted with that?
No, that's perfect. Well, I mean, which ship was it? I'm sure that they were pointing.
Yeah, there was a vessel sort of bobbing in the water off the coast called the Minnow.
Okay. What kind of flag does it wave?
It waves a flag of a particular family crest.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, that's all I care about there.
Do we recognize the flag from Fortune?
No. Where is my... Excellent. So that was for Pigeon. Pigeon already did this one. Emmerich did... Not Emmerich. Still calling you Emmerich
Luther.
years later. Luther did this. We're going to have...
Oh, and do let me know if I see Midgedell on the beach one day.
We'll get there. I need Eraser to make me a charisma check as he talks to people.
Yeah.
He rolls a 29. He's going to do a great
Nice.
job. He's going to find out some information about Sheriff Blackwater for you. So he's a former Drakisian commander, like field commander, who is now in a job well below his station because he did something. And what the specifics of what he did to get sort of put here working on this spot is not very clear. Maybe some more time spent on this project would reveal it. But it's clear that like he fucked up. And this is sort of, you got to come here, you got to work in this town as a sheriff. When you're like a field commander, now you're just like the local sheriff.
When you say field commander, like I don't know military. Ranks.
Like he would be organizing hundreds to thousands of soldiers,
Okay.
and
So, yeah.
servants and blah blah blah, like in command of enough people that this is well below his station.
Mm-hmm. Probably also means that he's a bit of a badass fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he seems to be like personally in charge of security. He has some people who works for him, but he, they mostly keep the public at bay while he goes and fights the bullywug single-handedly. He is a stern and inflexible person.
Okay.
That's Sheriff Blackwater.
Shybrook has a history of overqualified sheriffs.
Yeah.
As for how to embarrass an apprentice, I don't know if you could get that information from a person. I think you got to figure that one out on your own.
That's more like an idea, isn't it? But do remember that Eraser is the man with the plans, so
That's true.
you might have some thoughts on that. I'm updating our party notes sheet, by the way. Yeah.
Good.
The trap maker. I think it's also time for Eraser to do a charisma check and talk about in town with people. Natural 17, modified 30. Eraser killing it. The trap maker is a Mystrian male dwarf named Brack.
Brack.
Yes. And he is a slave. Or has been enslaved to work under Lord Armstrong.
Huh.
MrMouton. Well, you said you don't want to do the charisma check so much, and this is a charisma check one. Maybe this is more for
it's a Nick
Luther.
Can we just let's just take a second. Brack the trap maker being a slave. Like, we could put a trap maker to work, and he clearly doesn't like his situation here if he's a slave. Maybe there's something in that.
He could also manage our base. I mean, he would be... I don't know. It depends what they want. Like, I would be willing to free him for him to come to our base and then make us traps, and then he can go and do whatever he wants. But just
Isn't that just enslaving him again?
No. He would just make our traps, and then he would be free to go. Like,
Right.
Go
Just
do whatever
a
you want.
short term of slavery.
Well, it's like
offer him a
repayment
place
for...
to live.
Yeah,
right,
you can
but
live with
it's not
us.
voluntary for him, right?
No, I don't even mean that. I mean, maybe he does nothing for us, but I'm saying, like, the fact that he's a slave and that he's a trap maker means that we've got something in common with him, Like, we know about traps. Like, he's probably a thief, right? Like, we can speak to him in thieves' camps. We're going to have cultural similarities, and he's clearly an enemy of Lord Divan. If he's a slave, I mean, it's probably impossible to speak to this guy because he's probably kept in the dungeon. But
Yeah, we could like free him and then give him the offer to come, chill with us.
yeah, I think if we get a chance to speak to him, we should take it because that feels
I agree.
like there's a shared enemy there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff I want to
Okay.
do is just like the perception-based shit. I want to use my good stat.
Yeah. Nick,
All right, you were
give
about to get me to
a
make a charisma check, yeah?
charisma check.
What is this for?
You're trying to figure out who the doctor is. 19 modified 34. Excellent job. Celinda the half-elf, who also teaches swimming, is the healer in the area.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So
I'll
that's
go
good.
to see her on Friday.
Yeah, we can go and see her and maybe offer to pay her.
Mm-hmm. And
Maybe I should go and see her on your behalf. We know how you get with kids.
sometime during this week, you will actually, with your own eyes, witness the half pint tearing out its shutters and installing that like thick cut glass with little, dividers to hold everything in together.
Just to keep pigeon out.
These
glass is so expensive.
nuts.
You wouldn't do that in response to this
No,
sort
but
of thing.
Pigeon takes it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna get robbed, guaranteed. But let's continue. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give Eraser an intelligence check.
I can't rob the half pint.
21, because Eraser has 17 int. Eraser is smart enough to be able to figure out that this glass is coming from the keep itself. There are no glass makers in town. He's walked the streets. He's examined everything. And, judging by the direction that you guys saw this coming in, someone in the keep is a glass maker.
Okay.
That tracks. Wait, maybe I don't know. You need sand to make glass, right?
Yep.
You need silica. Sand is a source for that. But you probably wouldn't know.
But might I know that you need people make glass with sand, though?
Probably not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's see. What is Divin's vibe? So everyone at some point is going to be talking to someone about the Lord, right? Everyone always talks about the president, the lords, the ladies, the prime minister, right? This is always a thing. So why doesn't everyone in the party give me a charisma check, and we'll just see if you can get any vibes. Mooten with the 20. Nick with the natural 20 modified 35. And Eraser with the natural 18 modified 31. Great. So
No big fails. Yeah.
Yeah, just even if you did sort of, there was that one person who was hung because he was talking shit about Devon in a bar, but you're not talking shit. So the vibe of this guy, of this wizard, is sort of isolated, careful, obsessive, and specifically more interested in the dragon that's rumored to be around here than in the town itself. There is a proclamation out that anybody who sees a dragon or an unusual monster of any kind must report it to Sheriff Blackwater. And then if Sheriff Blackwater thinks it's worth their time, he'll get one of the assistants or apprentices to come out and interview that same person. And then sometimes that person is then, interviewed by Devon.
Huh.
And that seems to be like the main thrust of his activities out here, seems to be around monsters and dragons.
I could tell him where a mimic is.
Yeah, that's not around here, is it?
No, but I know what a mimic looks like and tell him that we encountered it.
It looks like a wardrobe.
I know.
Maybe
But we know things about the mimic that if we want to make something up, we can say that it was somewhere in the ruined area of this town and then get an interview up the chain.
Yeah, that potentially could work. We could also just lie about seeing the Hydra in the Black Pine Marsh, or...
But the thing is we don't know shit about the Hydra, right? Whereas we've encountered a mimic. I know about the stickiness that they might be looking for. We don't want to just lie about a monster we haven't seen yet.
This 20 on my charisma check here, do I get any more information about the type of dragon he's looking for?
He's looking for if anyone sees a dragon or another monster. So it's sort of like
Okay, and what about the other monsters? Like any monster? Like, is he interested
Something
in goblins? Is he
unusual.
interested-
So, like, if you see a bullywug, it's known that they're in the area. You see crocodiles, not a big deal. But if you see something weird, if you see something unusual, out of the ordinary,
Because they're made by wizards, Nick.
The thing with the mimic though, it's not going to move, is it? Right? Like, he's going to be like, where was it? And then it's not
What do
going
you
to be.
what do you mean a mimic wouldn't move?
I don't know. Does it move? It's a
Yeah,
warden.
mimics
How
can
it
move and they can walk around.
Can they? I guess
Yeah.
maybe with that sticky tongue of theirs.
We'll say that we saw one in the abandoned area. We'll get an interview with the lady, and then we can ask him, hey, how do you like your job? Blah blah blah.
Okay, that's not a bad way in. I do think that's pretty good. I think also I should go and speak to Celinda the half elf about employing her as a healer for you.
Yep, you should do the mimic one too, because you have charisma.
Yeah. I just think we've been going almost 3 hours. I think I want to have the conversation with Celinda, and then I want to kind of go away and think about it till the next session.
Eraser, has helped you gather all this information. He says, guys, I don't deny that there's something interesting happening here. I mean, 7 wizards gathered together in one town, no clerics, no real lords. The teacher of MrMouton talks about like looking for dragons, disgraced commanders running the law enforcement. There's some good, interesting shit going on here.
I'm sensing a but.
Don't we have lots of things we could do back home? Isn't this supposed to be like a vacation? We've been working the whole fucking vacation.
No, we've not been. We've been at the beach. What are you talking about?
Wait,
We've
we're
been
at the
relaxing.
beach, but also we're like walking around, looking at glassmakers, interviewing kids,
Man, we want a wizard to come back with us.
I'm feeling you, Eraser. I understand.
You really
I don't think we.
you really think you're gonna go to wizard? What do you have to offer a wizard, huh? That they can't get here?
We have
Can you-
money? We
Sure,
have a
but
sense of freedom?
Yeah, but if they wanted freedom, they'd just quit, right? Or they
I don't
wouldn't have
think they're
started to
allowed
work
to
to
quit,
begin
man.
with. Like, you can't teach them any magic. You don't have any scrolls. You don't have any spell books. You don't
No,
have
I mean,
any.
they can get off on their own.
But like,
Maybe we need
what's
to
the
steal
point?
a spell book if we want a wizard.
Shut the fuck
so
up,
we could
Luther. I'm
say
trying
it.
to make a point here. He says, an apprentice is specifically training under someone to learn their skills from them. You're never going to get an apprentice to go unless you've got something to teach them. Sorry, Luther. I was trying to make a point.
I was reading you. I was stepping ahead. Sorry, I do that sometimes. I think
What
you've
about
got
the
a point.
assistants?
If we can steal a spell book, maybe we can use that to entice a wizard, I guess is what I was thinking. And I think you're right. Like, we need to be able to offer some sort of magic learning. Otherwise, clearly, they're going to learn more magic with this fella here than they are in Stromheim with us. Maybe Eraser's right.
Well, what about the trap maker?
Trapmaker's a good lead if we could find him.
What do we do with? I mean, a trap maker sounds awesome. 100%. We don't have enough
Does sound
traps.
awesome.
Like, we got a couple, but we could use a lot more.
Imagine
How
like
do
he
you-
could come up with what? Just hang on, I just got a thought on that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
imagine what he could make with the skeleton pit. Like, he could be so fucking sick. I like some sort of trapdoor or some sort of crazy ramp that falls into the skeleton. Could be really sick.
I am 100% with you. But is there anything here that there isn't back in Stromheim? At least in Stromheim, we know the city. We know what's going on. We got friends and connections. Out here, we're flying blind, man. Like, we know some stuff, but this is a small town. We see the same people every day. If anyone comes looking for us, if anyone's like, hey, that guy with the bulging eye, they will know exactly where to find us, right? Like, if we tip our hand even slightly, we're exposed. I'm
He is right.
wondering, do we really want to be doing this stuff right now?
I look at Pigeon. I know that he doesn't like this kind of talk, but Eraser's talking sense.
I mean, we spent a whole week here. It would be a shame to throw away a week's worth of work.
It's not thrown away though. We might be able to take some of this back to Bar Brown.
That's true.
Make some money
You can
on
always
it.
come back later.
Yeah. Can make some money on it.
I don't know, man. It's one thing when, like, you know, the Temple Guardians, bunch of fucking assholes that they are, or the Copperheads, and they've got some like little scheme going on, and we steal their money and run away. Ha ha ha. That's all fun and games, right? This dude's asking about dragons. Like,
Yeah.
there's I'm just a little worried
Yeah.
that this might be a
We
little.
almost got fucking killed by some wannabe town guards with a few swords. Never mind a fucking wizard and a dragon.
I mean, if Sierra can't even rescue a damsel in distress, how are we supposed to go up against a dragon hunter?
Okay. Listen, the road's dangerous. Pigeon, crazy to think, but he's probably the best fighter here. We could do with him being at full strength before we get back on the road. So why don't you... It's coming up to Friday. Why don't you let me talk to this cylinder girl and see if I can't entice her to help heal Pigeon for a few days. And maybe we get a bit more information. I'm not saying we do anything, but it might help. And if anyway, we could do with Pigeon, healing up a bit before we leave.
Okay. I agree. I agree.
What do you say, Pigeon?
Sounds good.
Okay. We can sit on this. We can think about it. We can report some of this back to Barbara Ann. We can report some of it back to Shacklebrook. I mean, it doesn't seem like this wizard fella here is asked about Shacklebrook, right? He seems like he's looking down to the Hidden Valley and the monsters more than he's concerned with politics in the north.
Yeah. I mean, if he... There's all these, like, Mystrians here, and these Drakissians. They're all a bunch of fucking foreigners, you know?
Yeah.
And they're here talking about dragons and shit. I'm just getting... Like, this is not a normal town. There's something weird here. There's something weird going on in this place. Like, there's no crime. Fucking bodies hanging from the rafters. I know everyone said that guy was so drunk he shat on kids, but like...
Doesn't sound right. I've been really drunk in my life. Never done some shit like that.
Yeah, but like... I don't know. I'm
That's
getting
what I'm saying,
the
like, maybe it's
heebie-jeebies
bullshit.
here. You think it's bullshit? You think like he got killed for something else?
Maybe. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Pigeon, I know you got a surprisingly good head on your shoulders. What's your read on this? Am I crazy? Am I getting paranoid? Am I do I have the yips?
I shrug. I mean, I just don't know what we're gonna do here. We can't really get into the keep.
Right?
Can't really steal anything.
Right.
We don't want to piss off the sheriff who will just kill us.
The
Why
risk
don't we
is
just
too
get the
high.
fuck out of here?
He's just if he's a former like field commander, he could be, you know, like a swords master or something.
Yeah, let's just get the fuck out of here.
Well, let me talk to the half-elf and see if we can't get you healed up a little bit. If that goes nowhere, then we can just leave.
Yeah,
We can
let's
get
just do,
healed
like,
up in Thornwood.
Yeah,
A
maybe
week
you guys
of
could like sell some gems or something, get some, you know. Did you bring your gem selling kit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, let's leave in a way that I don't know. Is it better to leave without leaving a lasting impression, or is it better to leave with a good impression?
Better to leave with a good impression. I say if we can get some healing off Cylinder, make a somewhat of a connection there. That's something to be that's something that's worthwhile having got.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think tomorrow's Friday, so I'll go down in the morning. I'll catch her when she's doing this swimming lesson. If it works, then we can stay for a bit longer and get Pigeon healed up. If not, we can leave on Saturday.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay. So, not too much drinking tonight. 'Cause we're trying to rest up.
Yeah, I rest.
In the morning, I'm going to go down to the river. I don't know what time it will be, so I go for a walk along the river's edge, Neil. If I don't see her, I'll walk along the river and walk back. and hope
Yeah,
that she's
it's
there.
late morning when you do catch her there. She's got a little tassel of like 7 kids and 4 parents who are watching over them. And there's a little section of the river where someone's moved some sand and dirt around to kind of create like a semi-sheltered area. And the half-elf, wades into the water. I'm going to put her token on the map so you can see.
Hotness check.
Our apprentice Celinda She's got white hair.
Gotta get her, Nick.
Oh, damn, she looks
long
absolute
blue
babe.
clothes.
She's a babe.
Yeah.
Hotness check over
18.
here.
I've already determined it.
She's a half elf, so she gets to roll at advantage. You know,
Nice.
that should be a rule. Half elves roll at advantage,
For sure.
and halflings. You know,
I'm calling to the advanced draw when I roll Riven's half.
That's an
Heartless.
18 stat right there.
I actually just forgot what I rolled. Hold on. This is a 14 and a 12. So 14
Okay,
on
14.
the
That's pretty hot.
attractiveness.
She's
Now,
hot.
that's
She's no
absolute value. Relative values can go through the roof, right? If this is your vibe right
That's
here.
my vibe. That's Pigeon's dream girl.
Yeah. Well, she wades into
Okay.
the water, dress, skirts, and all, helps the kids, gets them comfortable floating and then paddling and blah, 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 blah. And go ahead.
Lean against a tree. I'm not going to interrupt her lesson. I wait for her to be finished. The parents are there, so I'm assuming that the kids will go with their parents, and then she will go off back to the keep. So when she is done with her lesson and she goes to leave, I will take my flat cap off and hold it to my chest and sort of walk over to her and be like, Celinda, could I have a word? If she sort of stops and looks at me.
Yeah, give me your charisma check for how you're presenting to her.
That's one.
You're coming off pretty honest here. So she looks in
Yeah.
your direction and says, "Excuse me, stranger. Do I know you?"
You do not, but I know of you. I am sorry for approaching you out of the blue. We've been traveling on the road, and my nephew, he's been grievously wounded on the East Road. And I was looking for a healer in town, and I'm told that you are the only healer here.
I am.
Is it perhaps possible to procure your services for a few days? We're looking to leave town, but I'm nervous of getting back on the road while he's so severely wounded.
I suppose. My
have
time
plenty
is
coin.
extremely expensive, though.
Well, let
My
us
master
talk
prefers to
coin.
keep me in the keep.
I'm sure you have plenty of important things to keep you busy there, no doubt.
5 gold a day.
Of course, easily. We're staying at the Shybrook.
I will fetch my supplies. Tell your friend to take it easy until I arrive in, when the sun is over there. And she points to a place in the sky.
My name's Luther. I'm in room 6 on the first floor, and my nephew Pigeon, he's in room 7 next door.
Just so you don't embarrass yourself in front of the others, the appropriate term of address is Mistress Celinda.
Do apologize, Mistress Celinda.
She gives you like a single incline of the head and walks back off, her skirts clinging to her sides because she was in the water, and heads back to the keep.
Cool. All right. I go back and I inform Pigeon that it worked. It's 5 gold a day, which I don't know if you agree with me. I feel like that's worth paying.
Worth you.
Yeah. I'll try and be in the room while she's
yeah.
treating you.
Well, Racer's there too. Everyone gathers round. You got a few moments to strategize before she arrives.
It's all on Eraser and Luther to woo her to join the party. I mean, if they
No,
if they
we're
try
not.
that.
We're not going to get her to join the party here. I don't think. I think it's just a case of.
We'll talk
making
to
a-
her, see how she feels about working there.
Yeah. We've got a few days, so I say we take it easy day 1. Introductions. We explain what we're doing. We've had some hard times in the city. We've lost a couple of friends, and we're just trying to take a vacation. And then maybe
I
on
need
day
5
2
days
we
of
open up a bit
healing
more.
at least.
Okay, well I think that's
Technically
fine.
6.
Yeah.
We do 5. Let's do 5.
Let's do 6.
Okay, let's just do 6 then. So yeah, I think Neil, I will.
I'm taking
wanna
off
be
the
in
gold,
the
Neil.
room.
Gold's off.
We'll want to be
I
in
paid
the room.
35.
And I kind of ramp up my conversation over the 6 days, like I said. So we start off kind of like really shallow. How did you find yourself here? We're traveling. We're looking for we just wanted a vacation because we've lost some friends. We're from Stromheim.
Yeah.
And then as the days progress, I'll maybe start asking her about how she ended up in Shybrook. How did she meet Lord Divin? Maybe then later on, how did she become a wizard?
Let's go this bit at a time here. The first thing I want to say is that when she arrives in the room, Eraser speaks a single word of Elven to her, and she smiles at it and then says hello to him and to the rest of you and points to Pigeon, is like, is this the guy? Unfolds her bag and immediately starts to treat him.
Does he speak Elven?
Damn. What the hell? That's
Eraser,
crazy.
do you speak Elven? I ask.
He pats you on the forehead. Just the one word. My mother was a half-elf. Well, I say mother. I was adopted by her. Orphaned on the streets of Stromheim. Picked up a few words here and there.
Learn something new every day. You're an intriguing man, my friend.
What word did you say to her?
I think I said hello, and the half-elf says, well, it's a diminutive form of hello that a mother would use to her son. And he kind of goes, oh, I guess that's just what she always said to me, so my apologies.
That's cute. Yeah. All right.
What would be the correct way to say it, Linda?
She pauses and gives you another word in Elven. Yeah.
Okay. I make
It's a
a
good
note of that.
icebreaker.
I make a note of that, yeah. Can I remember that?
Yeah, give me an in check. See if
Yeah.
it sticks in your brain. Absolutely. You can say hello in Elven.
Sick.
Pigeon, you're going to forget it.
I fucked it.
That's all right.
Wow. I've never met a half-elf before. I don't know if I have. Might have.
Time to turn on the charm.
Now, you had a series of things that you wanted to do, and I just wanted to take it day by day.
Yeah, so on this first day, surface level, I thank her for coming. I sort of try and compliment her. Like, I assume you must be really busy. Really appreciate you taking the time. How long do you think it's going to take to... Here's an
Today's
interesting thing
assessment
with
will
this.
be an hour, and then we'll see from there.
Out of character, her healing pigeon kind of gives her information as to how high level he is.
Yes.
Because no level 1 character would take 6 days to heal.
Yes.
Which is funny because how does that present in terms of a wound? Do you know what I mean? Is it?
Yes.
It's kind of weird there. So I guess
This
she
is
has
that
some
moment
idea that
where-
we're somebody.
Yeah. This is that moment where
But
the game
I guess
mechanics. Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that a thing? Like, is she now aware that we are relatively seasoned adventurers, I guess?
Absolutely. She's going to be
Okay.
able to get a rough assessment of his max HP based on how much he's healing. Unless he's going out and like tearing his bandages during the middle of the day or something. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so on this first day, I thank her for coming. Appreciate that she's very busy in the keep. And I mostly leave her to her work.
I hit on her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Pigeon's he's a horn dog.
Uh,
Wow, I'm a gem merchant and I got jewelry and stuff that would look fantastic on you. Want a charisma check?
yeah, give me your best charisma check, Pigeon.
I really want a 20 here, man.
I know.
Okay,
That's
21. I'll take
It's a
it.
21.
It's serviceable.
It's a pass.
I do take only payment in gold or silver.
I
not
paid-
in gems or jewels.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about as a thank you gift, you know?
Why don't you think on it? And if my ministrations don't kill you, you're more than welcome to leave a tip at the end.
Oh, well, if they kill me, I mean, I won't be giving you any tip, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I'll be dead.
I think the kid might have a fever. I think he might
Yeah.
be actually sick and top of injured. Is it possible he could have gotten an infection? And she kind of smiles and nods and, pulls open your chest, your shirt, and pokes around at everything, squeezes some stuff here, uses some tweezers to pull out some stuff there, gets some little scissors and snips away some flesh. put some thing that stings on all of you, rubs some or gives you a jar of ointment to rub on yourself, and says she'll be back tomorrow with maggots, and
Right.
To leave the bandages alone.
I follow her out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
I close the door behind me and I say, "Do apologize, Pigeon's forthright communications. He's not used to seeing, well, half elves or women of your stature."
I understand. I have
You'll
lived
come
amongst humans most of my life. I understand the effect I may have on them. Don't worry about it.
You'll be back same time tomorrow?
In the morning,
Okay.
just as
How
the
long-
sun breaks.
How long do you think it'll take before
Only
we
time will
fit for
tell.
the road? Very well. Okay. I shall see you in the morrow.
All right. Pigeon, do you rest today?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. When the two of them are out of the room, Maurice is like, Pigeon, come on, man. We're working now. We're working. Don't turn on the charm.
Hold on.
You call that charm?
Love check. High
Love-
equal good.
Love check.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He's just
not
smitten.
yet. Not yet.
Smitten.
Ah,
Okay.
all right.
Bloody
Do I take 3 HP?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Day 2.
You know,
Hey!
yeah, but I say to Pigeon, because he's looking a bit smitten. I say, I know I gave you shit about Patricia being your first girl, Pigeon, but you and I have got a good thing going on. You've got a lot in common. I don't think you should be getting waylaid by elven beauties down south. I think you should recognize a good thing when you've got it. I think
just
she
think,
still likes you.
I
still
just
say
think
the
of
way she
her as
looks
a
at you.
friend, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think she thinks of you as a friend, Pidge. I can tell the way she looks at you.
I shrug. I'm a ladies' man. What can I say?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well,
You
you've
watch at the end
surprised
of
us
this
all with that
week,
one.
this lady's gonna be all over. She's gonna be coming with us.
Yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up. All right,
It's
she comes
good
back the
because in
next
the
day.
future, hold on,
Oh.
we have a rapport in this town. If we get the love potion
Oh no!
and we've convinced her to have a drink, we
oh
have
my
a wizard.
God, that's
Okay,
crazy.
just keep it in mind. We're building rapport
crazy.
here.
That's so fucked up. Man. She might accidentally dispel herself one day and then just be horrified.
Possible, yeah.
Okay. Second day. Does she spend as much time in the following days? I guess not.
No, because the first is sort of an assessment and all the major work, and then from then on, it's pretty much tending. So she'll be here 15, 20 minutes.
I hit on her again.
I think
My
sorry
God.
for the subsequent days.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not.
an 11. It's bad. Sorry.
I'm not going to be in the room. But what I'll do is I'll catch her on the way out and kind of walk her out of the inn and have a quick chat with her on the way out.
Okay. What's your little chit chat on the way out?
I just ask her how. So how did you end
Just
up in Shybrook?
regular conversation. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I try and just find out a little bit more about her as the day goes on. Does she show any interest in us, in knowing what we do by the end? We don't have to do it every day, but I try and I want to learn a little bit more about her. I want to divulge a little bit about us, and I'd like to just generally try and build up a rapport.
Well, give me one charisma check for divulging information about yourself, one for learning about her, and then one for general rapport.
Okay, so in that order, for myself first, 26.
Great.
For learning about her.
Ooh, natural
so
one.
she's standoffish
Makes
about
sense.
herself.
Yeah.
And then for building a general rapport.
Yeah, so when you ask her about herself, how she came to be here, she gives very dismissive answers, just life takes you in different places. And she kind of has this, I'm providing a service, you're leaving town soon. It's very professional,
Yeah.
And as she said, she's a very attractive half-elf woman in a town far from home.
She's used to this. Yeah.
She's used to everyone trying to get to know her, and she just sort of breezes through it. But she does listen to what you have to say. What is it that you are trying to pass off about yourself?
That was mostly just a tool to build rapport, but I
Got it.
basically just tell her that, I'm from Stromheim,
Yeah.
that we're here on vacation because we've lost some friends.
And that you're gem merchants. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gem merchants, yeah.
Okay, I need to...
I don't hit on her on the third day.
Nice.
I respect it.
Next beat for that, buddy.
She asks when you mention your gem merchants if you have any emeralds or rubies.
I don't think we do we, Pigeon?
We have an amber colored gem and a topaz colored gem. I don't know what they are.
No.
We have and we have zircons. That's it.
No. Okay.
Not at the moment, but why do you need them? I could maybe find some.
If you happen to come across any when you're in town again, do let me know.
Okay. Perfect.
That's cool. I'll write that down. He wants
Let's
emeralds.
sell
and rubies.
emeralds and rubies.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we leave town after that.
We leave town.
Am I up to full?
Yeah, I think you might be
Okay.
one off or something. I can't remember the math exactly,
Yeah,
but
I get to full if we would do 60.
perfect. Did you shell out the 25 gold? It was 5 per day.
35 gold.
35. Okay. Oh, we were here for 7.
60.
6, but a tip.
Ah,
give
right.
you a tip.
Tip. Glad that's the export of America. Tipping.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
All right.
Ma'am, if we ever show up in Shybrook and one of us is hurt again, is there a way we could call for you at the gate?
Yes. And that's what she says and leaves.
Well, I will ask her. Well, what do I say?
Just
That's
that.
for your name, you by name? Oh, perfect. Okay.
That you're injured and you're looking for a doctor.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
As you leave this, actually, that would be one morning. You would still need the rest of your rest that day, and then you would leave the following morning.
Yeah.
Okay. As you get up early, because it's a long trip from Shybrook to
is.
Thornwood, so you got to get up early to go. As you get up, and as you're leaving, you see some people heading back into the keep. Somehow, we didn't meet up with those kids again. I think you were injured and we were doing this. Maybe it got forgotten. But as you're leaving, you do see the girl and her little brother walking with a woman sort of towards the keep. And Pigeon, give me a perception check. 24. That's enough. That's enough for you to notice that the kids, both of them, have some like very bright red welts across their wrists as if they've been recently punished for something. And as you ride past, you can hear the 12-year-old boy say, "That's him!" and point to you on the horse. He's saying this to his mother.
Time to leave.
Wait, no. I don't think it is time to leave because they haven't got to the keep yet.
Nope, they have not got to the keep yet. You are on the road. You are leaving, coming along
He
this
doesn't know
way.
who we are. Let's just leave.
And they are
No, we
coming
need
from this way. They're coming
Nick,
down.
we need to handle this
and you coming up.
because if we don't, they're going to go to the keep. The mom's going to say, "Hey, this person was asking crazy questions," and then we lose all of our rapport that we've built up with the doctor lady because she's going to know who we are. She's going to know that we healed him.
I don't think that killing 3 people is worth it.
Why?
In the middle of the street.
It's on the middle of the street. We go talk to him in Smithside in the ruins. This information is so... we will never be able to come back to this town again, which is fine.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't know. I mean, you point to them and say what? Like, what do you say in the moment?
I'll do like a wave. Hello.
You guys are sort of passing each other. The
I'll
kid's
ride
pointing
up
at
and
you.
stop.
The mom sort of glares and like jerks on the kid's arm.
I'll
You say
ride
you
up to
stop?
them and say, "Yeah, do you need something, ma'am?"
She kind of bows her head in deference, gives you a bit of a curtsy and says, "No, my lord, just trying to get the kids hurried on to the keep for work."
I'll ask the kid, "Well, why are you pointing me out?"
It's him. He's the one who gave us the gold. Remember me? You didn't meet us back at the ruin.
I nod.
And the mom looks to you and says, "This is the man?" She looks at you. "Why did you give my children so much money?"
I shrug. I'm a rich man. They looked like they retired and coming home. I shrug.
She looks scowlingly suspicious. Come on, children.
I'm from
Let's leave-
Stromheim. I'm a gem merchant.
I ride up. What's going on here?
Nothing,
She was
my lord.
asking why I gave the kids some gold. I gave him like 13 gold a week ago.
Uh-huh. Is that an issue?
No, my lord. We were just on our way, and my son was calling out.
Well, why'd you hit
just-
his hands? Why'd she hit you?
The kid feels uncomfortable in the situation, and she says, "They were lying to me, and one must punish unruly children." Excuse me, my lords. And she gets her kids in tow and tries to hurry them down the road.
Well, here. Does she stop?
She
She
either
sees me
doesn't
reach for a
hear you
coin
or
pouch.
pretends that she doesn't hear you.
I trot up and go in front.
She stops,
I go
keeps her
behind
head
them.
bowed and looking at the ground while you're standing in front of her.
What's Eraser do? Is he over here as well?
Eraser is sitting on his horse, kind of putting his hand through his hair, watching the two of you from a distance. The mom jerks the kids and says, "Show deference," and gets them to also look towards the ground.
Well, hey, sorry for whatever, commotion I caused to your kids. It was nothing untoward, I swear. And then I'll pull a bag off of my side and throw it to her. I guess it'll hit the ground and maybe open.
Lands at her feet. A couple of gold coins spill out. The 12-year-old goes for it, but she still has him by the hand and jerks him back to a standing position. Thank you, my lord. That's too kind of you. Please, I couldn't accept such generosity. That's more money than I would make in a long time.
Well, please keep it. I enjoyed the chat with your children, and you seem like a great mother.
Thank you.
Goodbye. And I'll leave.
She
As I'm
squats
leaving,
down, picks up.
Okay,
the purse.
she does pick it up.
Yes.
All right. Now she's in for a penny, in for a pound. Now she's
Yeah,
a part of the
okay.
conspiracy.
Okay.
We're good.
That's handled fine. I just
That's
didn't want to
That's
just
handled enough.
murder them in cold blood in the middle of the street. Okay.
It sounds like the kids didn't snitch a ton. They just lied about where they got the money, and then they fessed up.
Okay. And the party can leave town and head out on the road again, coming back to Stromheim eventually.
So my question, I think we're near wrapping up time.
Yes.
Are we gonna fast forward to Stromheim, or are we gonna play out the journey? Because
In
if
between,
we're playing it out, I wouldn't
Go ahead.
mind speaking to Bernie and Thornwood. But if we're skipping it, we can just skip it. It's not that big of a deal.
I'm going to make some dice rolls to see what happened to Sierra in Cauldron.
Yeah.
And then we can do a touch in Thornwood and then either skip Cauldron and everything else. All
right, so let's do that next time.
Yeah, we'll do it all next time.
Okay,
Sweet.
cool.
All right, that's it for Hardly Heroes, everybody. We'll catch
Thanks for
you next week. Next time that there's not a floating fortress.
Bye.
Yep.
And for those of you watching on VODs, that's the show that this gets broadcast when that doesn't happen. That's not just a weird thing that I'm saying about fortresses.